Hello and welcome to Fresh Face Comics, the comic book podcast where a lifelong comic book reader guides his friend through the world of comics for the first time. My name is Joey Morgan, the aforementioned lifelong reader. With me as always is Jacob Licklider, the aforementioned newbie.
I swear, if this is longer than our previous Tom King Batman episode.
It just might be, because today, to join us, to continue our Tom King Batman coverage with the second Deluxe Edition, plus, of course, the button, because Deluxe Editions don't include the tie-ins for some reason. It's fucking weird. Anyway, we have Kian, first-time guest of the podcast. Kian, hello.
Welcome to my nightmare.
No, this is the one you actually wanted to be on.
This is the one I like.
Yeah, this is the one you like. Welcome to the podcast. Those that don't know Kian, listeners of the podcast will know your questions, obviously, I believe. But also Kian has been on the channel before, Blood Donut Studios, for our Catwoman commentary, which was a hell of a time, and is still, for some reason, one of the most popular videos on the channel. I will never understand it. But yeah. Today we're continuing Tom King's Batman, and holy shit, we have a lot to cover. This is four longer story arcs and a couple single issue stories in there. Absolutely insane. But here we go. Plus the annual. Yep. Yeah, it's a lot. We have a lot to talk about today. So I think at the risk of this being our longest episode ever, let's get into this.
Yeah, let's start this shit.
Yeah, non-spoiler section first. I think we'll kick it off with Jacob. What are these couple story arcs of Tom King's Batman about?
So, it's kind of interesting. I find it fascinating the way these are collected. Because the first story arc is kind of like a button to the last episode, basically.
Which is also funny because the last episode ended on Rooftops, which is also a button to I Am Suicide. So
Tom King seems to like buttons.
So much so this one gets two. But no, really, I do think I Am Bane is its own story arc. It's rather a sequel story arc than an epilogue, I'd say.
It's a sequel. I just feel like, and if we somehow ended the last episode on what happens at the end, like with the ending of I Am Bane, like that would have been also a fascinating ending.
I think Rooftops makes an excellent epilogue, though, so I can't really complain.
It does. It's honestly, part of my take is part of it's Tom King writing an overarching plot while also having to do events. Like
yeah. Well, he's only had to do Night of the Monster Men, which was very much not his story. It was more like a James Tynion story thrown into the middle of it all.
Luckily, James Tynion was writing a Batman story and not
exactly,
and not say Tom King having to write tie-ins for a DC Universe story. Check out Fresh Face One Shots for my opinion on that.
Absolutely.
Well, you're telling me you don't like Rebirth, the one shot that is just mystery box on mystery box?
No.
We're more cynical.
I'm talking about the absolute power tie-ins.
Yeah, absolute power tie-ins have. I'll say Jacob's wrong about the second tie-in. He's doing a much better job with the second tie-in. But yeah.
Sorry, I forgot we were in event territory at the moment.
Well, Absolute Power is an event, so...
Yeah, no, I forgot, because I'm reading it, and I'm like, I'm a little bit behind on just what I thought. And
gotcha. But yeah, you're right in the take that that King is rather, with Batman, is writing like really one continuous story. And so finding, I think, when you talk about like endpoints like Rooftops and I Am Bane, I really don't think any of those would be the perfect ending to an episode, because King is writing just one continuous story. All of these arcs do have their own stop and end points, but really this is a giant through line that King is working.
We then have a middle story, which is Tom King and Joshua Williamson basically doing some legwork for Jeff Johns and probably better.
One of them doing more than the other.
Yeah. And then we have outside of some very fascinating like single issue stories, High number 23. Yeah, 23 is the one I'm thinking of.
Yes.
We have the War of Jokes and Riddles, which I will say, listener, Kian, threatened to murder me if I didn't like horror jokes and riddles.
Well,
And this man,
you haven't.
I think if there's a time to say if you liked it or not, I think it's right now, Jacob, because it will
This-
determine how long this episode is. If you're dead for the rest of it, I can't do an episode.
you can't do an episode. This man hyped it up, and it took until the very end for me to actually get it and really see what was great about it, because it's great.
Are you telling me you didn't like the dinner issue?
I mean, I love the dinner issue. It's probably the best issue, but it took. Listen, it took for me to see the full picture to fully get it. Because
I do think War of Jokes and Riddles, because I remember reading it as it came out. I remember just like it being kind of disjointed. I think it is one that it really does improve on reread. When you know the point of Bruce's story. I think that's when it becomes much better.
I think going in with the context of why he is telling that story, even if the ending isn't like a shocking thing, it makes sense from Bruce's perspective why he treats it like a shocking thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. But I think because we have so many, I think we should get into some Twitter questions now.
Can we just shotgun through the bit, please?
Through the bit? No. We gotta go. We got to go in order. Let's do. Well, hang on. So we did actually get some submissions on Blue Sky first, actually, because you always post the Q&A on Blue Sky, and we never get anything, but we did get something. So, actually, first is from Kian himself. This app is on my phone. Yes, it is, Kian. Congratulations. Next is from our friend Andrew, friend of the podcast. Andrew says, "I know this may not be popular to say, but I actually like the button. I think most people actually like the button, from what I've witnessed at least.
I like it. You can tell who's who's enjoying writing it more.
Yeah, definitely. I think honestly, I think Williamson and King are both having a pretty good time with the button, personally.
Yeah, but one of them actively wants to write a crossover. The other one doesn't seem like they want to.
I mean, we all know Tom King doesn't fuck with crossovers, really. But no, I do still like King segments a lot, personally. But we do also have some Discord submissions, also from Andrew. First off here, Andrew also says, Jacob, now that you've read several variations of Batman and Catwoman, which author's take on the pair do you like most?
See, that's tough, right?
Come on, Jacob.
I'm terrified that this is recency bias, but it could very well be Tom King. Like,
oh, really? Interesting. Okay,
yeah,
I think mine would be Jeff Loeb, but that's really interesting, huh?
Yeah, King followed by Loeb, and I guess I have to hand it to Frank Miller.
Do you? I don't think you do.
Yeah, but at least he writes it in. It's in his good story. He writes them.
Yeah, that's true.
She does show up in All Star. Maybe wait till after All Star till you say Frank Miller.
That's true. Yeah. Andrew also says, Joey, being the Batcat shipper you are, which story or run got you truly invested in that relationship? I've been thinking about this question since I got it, and I don't know, actually. It's really hard for me to remember a lot of my early Batman reading history. I want to say it was Hush. I think Hush was like my first one where I went full Batcat. It might have been Hush, because I seem to remember that being like the first time I really had a more vivid reaction to that relationship, and finding it just something that I really enjoyed reading. It might be Hush. I think Hush is the one I can most recall, but yeah. All right, now over to actual. Oh no, sorry. One more set of Discord questions. My apologies. From our friend Mason. Yes, Mason. This is my first time reading these. I just got these. One, which Batman actor performs the act of cuddling most?
Adam West.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's Adam West, yeah, definitely. I really should not have. I really should have read these ahead of time. Fuck. God damn it! Yeah, it's Adam West.
Really should have. You should have. I just have to ask. I don't know if Mason knows about the DC not allowing Batman to finish.
You'd assume that was what he's referencing.
It's
it would be a very strange coincidence if he wasn't.
This is also Mason we're talking about, so
yeah. Mason also says, "That's all I have. There is nothing else. Wait, I have one. Do you think the mask stays on during sex?" Which I think is definitely a reference to that, right? The famous picture that Zack Snyder shared of Batman and Catwoman. I mean, come on, of course the masks stay on.
I'm trying to think which Catwoman issue from the new 52 is from, but that literally does happen.
I think it's literally the first or second issue, isn't it? I've read those. Yeah. The narration literally says the masks stay on. It's better that way.
I can't remember.
Yeah,
is that the one where she just shows up to Wayne Manor and starts? Or is that a different Catwoman issue?
No, I think that's different. I think that's the one where they fuck in her apartment. I want to say, but it's still like the very first or second issue.
Good new 52. What a time!
New 52.
What a time!
Jacob, are you good after that?
I'm good. I'm good.
The
answer is Adam West.
Mason also says, I have another 3. Do you think Batman has sex differently than Bruce Wayne? Like, do you think that the mask gives him more confidence to do kinks and little things that he wouldn't do otherwise? I think so. Definitely.
I mean, he's... you know what? No, I'm not going to go. We're not going to go
No, you should. Go for it, Jacob. Whatever you're going to say, go for it.
I was going to say, he actually enjoys sex as Batman.
I mean, yeah, definitely. I think that's like if I could have a legit conversation about that somehow, I really do think that like if he knows that he's with somebody that knows his most vulnerable side of himself, then yeah, I think he would definitely act differently in that moment. Honestly, legit, yeah, very different.
Listen, bye.
Thanks, Mason, for giving us a legit conversation out of that. Let's see. Next set of questions. Now we're actually over on Twitter. Come from our good friend Rules Panda at Joey Can Read This, best username on Twitter. Strange to cover the button before Watchmen, yes. So a longtime listeners of Fresh Face Comics, I think, will know that Jacob has already read Watchmen.
I have read Watchmen. We're going to do a Watchmen episode at some point, but we have to do something.
We definitely will. But I think like I always know when making the schedule that like I don't need to have you read that necessarily in order to like get something like the button, because I know you have that context already.
I have read Watchmen. It's
great.
It's good. It's good. It is,
and you can really see why Alan Moore wants to put a curse on everything that comes after it.
Of course. He also says, have either of you read any of the other Watchmen comic spin-offs before Watchmen or Tom King's Rorschach? I have not. They've been something that I've always been really interested in. I know they're like those like character solo minis or whatever. I have a meaning to check them out. I just have never gotten around to it. But they have been on my radar for a while.
I haven't because I'm gonna be honest. I don't think we need sequels to Watchmen.
Jacob,
or prequels.
I will go on this rant already. I think we need to stop treating Watchmen like this sacred, perfect book that can never be touched.
But it's not that it can't be touched.
What we need is we need it to be taken out of print so Alan Moore can get his publishing rights back.
I mean that's true. Yeah, definitely. But also it's really not that big a fucking deal if people want to write sequels or whatever to Watchmen. Like, just who fucking cares?
Yeah, it's not a big deal, but Alan just going to put a curse on it, so it's never going to be good.
That's true. So and that's fine. Just keep. I mean, I don't know. The HBO Watchmen show is good, and that's very much its own thing.
Yeah, but
the HBO Watchmen show exists.
Did it get cancelled after like 1 or 2 seasons?
It got cancelled after 1 season, but it was actually good. I swear.
That is the Alan Moore curse, though.
It is. It really is. It really is.
Remember, there's only one piece of work he's ever had his name on when it's been adapted.
Mm-hmm. Also says, do you think Flashpoint Batman's story should have ended here, like me, or do you like what they did with him later? Depends on what you mean with specifically later. I don't want to spoil anything for Jacob, but
yes,
I like what they do with him eventually. I don't like how they use him in Flashpoint Beyond, but that's also just modern Jeff Johns being modern Jeff Johns. So,
Wow, Jeff Johns doesn't know when to stop.
Find him in. Was it Infinite Frontier? We had that mini series for.
He was. That's right.
He was in a Multiversal Justice League. That works more, I think, than actually using him in main continuity.
Yeah.
I'll say this feels like an ending for the character. Like,
I disagree.
I feel like I wanted it to be that, and then I'm not going to say anymore. I can't say anymore.
You can't. But no, I do think there's more to explore after this point with him. But and then last question from Rolls Panda. So Kite Man, that was depressing, wasn't it? Yeah, Jacob.
Yes.
This is more a spoiler discussion, Jacob. But how about that, huh?
Well, look, I knew going in that Tom King was going to, be responsible for Kite Man existing, shall we say. Because let's be honest. Before this point, he had appeared in like one issue of Batman, right? Like in the 50s, maybe, or
I
like
think
early
I don't know
60s.
exactly. Yeah.
I want to say he was referenced in Arkham Asylum, but I could be imagining that.
No, he wasn't. I know he wasn't.
Oh, fair.
I've 100%ed that game so many times. I know he wasn't.
I mean, the War of Jokes and Riddles is so influential. We got a Kite Man cartoon before a Wonder Woman one.
It's true. Also, have either of you been watching Kite Man? Hell yeah.
I haven't.
It is actually so much fun. I'm having a great time with it. It's also got fucking Jonathan Banks in it, which is insane. Yeah, just a really fun show. I mean, it's if you like the Harley Quinn show, you'll like the Kite Man show. So, yeah. Anyway, our next set of questions, or not questions, but the next response from Jamie at Jamie_season7 says probably the best part of the run. You should get Alan Moore as a guest when you decide to cover Doomsday Clock. I'm sure he won't curse you. Yeah, not at all.
Hey,
We should.
No, I don't even want to joke about getting Alan Moore on the podcast.
See, what you will not know is I actually suggested Jacob read Doomsday Clock, but at the rate it came out.
I mean, by the time he's done with it, we might actually be properly covering it on the podcast. So hey, maybe, who knows?
Wait, is Doomsday Clock not done?
It's done.
No, it's done. But it took
from like a year. It went from like a year-long thing to like it finished. I think it started in 2016. It finished like 2019.
No, it was
2018.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, was it 2018? It was December 2018.
It wasn't longer than 2 years, I don't think. But it took a long time. It's certainly not taking as long as his fucking JSA is to come out. Which, my God,
you mean the book that the people taking over have said we're going to release our first issue come hell or high water, even if Johns hasn't finished his run?
Yeah, literally. I mean, yeah, they should, because it's honestly, I do think Johns' JSA started decent, but with all the delays, he clearly loses his fucking momentum, like he always does. So
I've actually lost track on what he does at DC anymore.
Not much, honestly. I don't think he even has like a really high up position anymore. I think he's just.
I know he just has beef with Ray Fisher. That's about it.
Yeah. Anyway, let's see. Trying to find more questions, and then we'll get to the bit. All right. Actually, yeah. Once again, more submissions from our fucking guest here, Kian at Kian the Quark. Says the peak of the run, which I disagree with. Although I guess Jacob, in comparison to our first set of stories we did, which do you prefer actually? I have a feeling you're going to say the first half.
I kind of have them on even footing. It's because I'm like, it's weird. There are things here that I think are amazing and great, and things that don't work quite as amazing and great. Never bad. I will say, the run so far has been very good. It hasn't even last time our weakest story was Night of the Monster Men, and that was still a pretty good story with pretty fun characterization and just made me interested in reading Tinning's Detective Comics run.
And honestly, I think the worst thing in this set of stories we have probably is the annual. But even then, it's still a really solid annual.
This isn't Scott Snyder's first annual, which is probably the weakest part of Scott Snyder's entire run of Batman.
But which is also by James Tynion. So
Oh, poor James Tinian.
He's a good guy, I swear.
I think currently the first volume edges this out slightly, but also I could see War of Jokes and Riddles being my favorite arc of the run. Like,
really?
Yeah, this is also one I think I need to sit with a little bit and see a little bit on where King is going after this, because I know we got a lot.
I think because between episode 50 and this one, I think this is my first time like properly revisiting the run as a whole. I think in retrospect, I think my favorite arc so far is I Am Bane. Yeah, that might be my favorite. I mean, also Rooftops is still perfect, but I think it might be I Am Bane right now.
I Am Bane is also great.
So I fucking love I Am Bane, dude.
It's this Tom King as a writer, you perplex me with how much you managed to shove in and how many plates you managed to spin, and currently haven't dropped any of them, I'd argue.
Yeah, that's yet to happen.
I have a feeling there's at least going to be one arc in the next 4 volumes of this run that I am not going to like.
Well, there will definitely be something you don't like eventually, but honestly, I think it'll take a little bit. Honestly, I think I like the run as a whole. Although for those that don't know, the reason we have Kian on right now is because Kian doesn't like a lot of this run.
Kian doesn't like the back half of the run.
Yeah, basically after issue 50 is where it really goes downhill for me.
I think you're still wrong.
Yeah, but you're wrong.
Have you considered No You?
Have you considered Uno Reverse?
Have you considered that you're a guest on this podcast and I can
boys, gentlemen, gentlemen, behave yourselves.
Hey Jacob, I'm going to ask you to behave yourself as I read off our latest submissions for this fucking joke that has gone on for way too long now. First, from once again our
people are getting in on it. More people are getting in on it. I hate it.
From once again our very own guest Kian, a picture of the 7th Doctor from the Curse of Fenric with a bunch of question marks on his jumper, the Riddler. Bane from Invasion of the Bane, the Sarah Jane Adventures episode, Bane? ?
I mean, still a better Bane adaptation than Batman and Robin.
The Celestial Toymaker, as played by Michael Goff, from Doctor Who's season 3 hit, The Celestial Toymaker, Alfred. From our friend English Giraffe at English_Giraffe.
English Giraffe, I expected better review.
The Button ? With the cover.
Also, this one was clever. This one was genuinely clever.
This is good. It's the Button ? It is the cover of the Doctor Who New Adventure, The Sky Pirates, where the Doctor is wearing the smiley face button, and English Giraffe drew a bunch of arrows pointing to it.
It's just a shame the VNAs aren't canon.
I knew this was going to kill Kian somehow. And here's the thing. I think we have to stop this joke now because this last one here, I think, is the peak of the joke. We've gone full circle. Jamie submits Kian ? With the quarks from the Dominators. I really do think we've peaked. I don't think we can get any better than that. I don't think we can get any better than that. I think that's it now, right? It's over?
It's got to be over.
It has to be over now, right?
I'll see what your next issue is, then I'll decide.
No.
Maybe I'll give it a rest and then just spring it on you when you least expect it.
Give it at least 16 episodes to match the wilderness years of Doctor Who.
You have to wrangle the other people that submit the joke then too to get them.
Exactly. I don't have to do it anymore. I can just sit back and watch the fire. I've helped.
I imagine you fuckers have like a group chat to yourselves about the shit you guys submit for this bit.
We don't, because Jamie beat me to the 9th Doctor last time, and I was like,
oh. God damn it. Anyway, I think that does it for our non-spoiler section. Holy shit. We're gonna get into spoilers in a second. However, if you're not sticking around for spoilers, and I really cannot wait to see what that time code is at the end, because I really don't know how long this episode's gonna be. But all that said,
I have a 2-liter of pop right next to me.
Okay, what pop though? What soda?
It's a Diet Pepsi.
Okay, all right, that's not bad. But no, okay. If you're not sticking around for spoilers, you can skip to the end of the episode to find out what we're covering next time on the podcast. We have a little 3-episode block coming up next, so be sure to stick around for that.
While we're recording this, I should say, Kian, get your guesses ready for what the next episode is going to be, because
okay,
I don't have one. I don't have one. Yeah, it's DC, so we'll find out.
It is DC, yeah. In like 3 hours, maybe.
I mean, I'll try and keep the tangents to a minimum, but
yeah,
I can't promise that.
Oh, of course, but yeah. So also, I'll have the books, Amazon links to the books that we're covering linked down in the description below. This time and next time, all those books will be down there. Also, our link trees and Kian's Twitter will all be down there as well. You can follow us all there. And I think that does it. So without further ado, let us get into our spoiler section for Batman: The Rebirth Deluxe Edition, Book 2, and Batman and the Flash: The Button. Holy shit! I don't know how I'm going to title this thing for the podcast episode, but
just do and the button. And the button instead
plus the button.
Plus the button.
Holy, what a lot of Batman.
Here's the thing. First off, okay. I love the art throughout all of this. Like,
oh yeah.
I don't know how many times I'm going to stop and just saying, this art is amazing. Look what it does thematically to what's going on.
I mean, also having an entire arc drawn by Mikkel Hannon towards the end really helps.
Mikkel Hannon drawing an arc, David Finch drawing an arc.
Yeah.
Quite a lot.
So good.
Mitch Gerads does some stuff.
Mitch Gerads does do some stuff, yeah. We got some Howard Porter.
Oh, Howard Porter.
Some Jason Fabek. I mean, come on. It's good shit.
In the annual, we have some Neil fucking Adams working with Paul Dini.
Paul fucking Dini, yes. What a fucking stacked list of writers and artists we have here. Like,
I will say, I may have given myself carpal tunnel writing out who did everything in this for this goddamn episode.
Yes.
Because I do that every episode.
I'm glad someone did.
What was that, Kian? Oh, you did?
Oh, yeah, but I didn't.
But Jacob's also a freak that writes down all these things, so...
Yes, because I like to credit people. Anyway,
because Jacob's a genetic freak, and he's not normal. This is Batman number 16. Or no, 16? Yeah, 16.
Yeah, 16. With, okay. This cover. My God.
Uh-huh. Especially when you know the end of the issue, dude. When this Jacob, I know you weren't there, but when this issue fucking dropped, when this first came out, and I picked it up from my comic shop. Fucking jaw hit the fucking floor at that cliffhanger. Oh my god.
Here's the thing. We knew each other when this dropped. I think at least.
Oh right, we're going already to this cliffhanger. I'm like, are we jumping around? Wow.
No. I was just saying, like, I was just talking about the cliffhanger of that issue there. The issue we're about to get into, but
they're also using this for the nice because they're re-releasing Tom King's Batman in very nice, thick paperbacks.
And they're using this cover for the first one, which I think is great.
That
first one is going up to I Am Bane, which is cool.
I think it's going up to the butt. It's including the butt.
Is it? I thought it was
Monster Man. It's not a compact, is it? They're doing, or is it something else?
No. It's a full hardcover.
Yeah, this is. They've been released.
And honestly, if they existed before we started covering King's Batman, we'd probably be going by those. But because they're including all the tie-in stuff, in the hardcovers that are already there. So, but yeah.
Yes. But okay, so I on this first arc as a whole, before we get into this, I love the day motif.
Yeah.
Each issue being a day. It's a very nice thing. It's also they're just Joe, you've made me read so much Tom King, I'm now like picking up on his this man loves his like ticking clocks.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot.
Yeah.
Cause we open, thank goodness, with some action at Arkham Asylum.
Yeah. It's a great opening scene. Yeah. We get to see Bronze Tiger again, which is awesome.
Very briefly.
Basically, a decent role in this story.
Yeah, basically, Bane is having some problems after I Am Suicide.
He needs his medicine.
His medicine is a psycho pirate.
He's a man who dresses as a pirate.
Who is also psychic.
Oh my god. And so people are trying to break Psycho Pirate out, and so Batman is here to stop that, and so is Bronze Tiger, which is cool. I just love the complexity of Bronze Tiger as a character, like actually seeing him fight alongside.
It's nice
Batman.
to see Bronze Tiger as a Batman ally.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, it's great. But it's one of the best things. I mean, I Am Suicide is an arc with a lot of great things going for it, and I think Bronze Tiger's heroism is one of those.
I can't remember if it's in all continuities, but I remember in Batman: The Brave and the Bold they trained together. They were rivals in training.
Mm-hmm. I forget.
I don't know if that's in all.
I want to say that's included. I think that's current continuity. But
yeah, but the problem is current continuity's changed like 5 times in the past 5 years.
That is true.
I feel like every time they do an event, it's also like big reset button. Anyway.
Yeah. But yeah, after this, we go to Batburger. Jacob, you know the Batburger scene already, don't you? Or you at least know of Batburger, right?
I am aware of this thing. I was aware of this going in.
Nobody can change my mind. This scene is fucking hilarious. It's so good.
It's first off, I'm gonna be honest. I was surprised that Tom King was actually using the Bat family, like at all.
Okay.
Because he kind of didn't a whole lot in the first.
I mean, we had a fair bit of Duke in the last episode on this run.
Yeah, but we just had Duke. We didn't have really.
I mean, we had Night of the Monster, of course.
Yeah. But that wasn't King. That was other writers. That was partially King, but that was a crossover. Like, I feel like using the Bat.
How great is this bit though? When the fucking snot-nosed kid at the desk at the taking their order is like, "Do you want to like jokerize your fries or whatever?" And Bruce fucking goes off on the kid.
It's also something that has probably I mean, I was going to say it's something that could happen in real life. Gonna go a little bit weird again. Didn't you Yanks get really annoyed that the French didn't like that you invaded Afghanistan or something, so you renamed French fries to Freedom Fries?
So
did that happen?
Yes.
Was that Iraq or Iran? Or was that Iraq?
It was immediately post 9/11, so it was Iraq.
Okay.
It was George W. Bush, the All-American, basically.
W.
Performative outrage of the Republican Party and the streak of nationalism post 9/11 America being a whole thing. We decided they're no longer okay. It wasn't like homogenous across the United States.
Oh no, I imagine you're all a hive mind. You like the Daleks. You have a pathway.
I was also a literal baby at the time, so
like Joey and I were not. I know it did not happen around where I grew up.
I don't know if it did around where I grew up. If it did happen, I certainly nobody has ever mentioned it to me growing up. So,
and I go down weird rabbit holes a lot.
Gotcha.
However,
you know what? I'm sure this isn't the wisest thing to do right out the gate in this episode, but you say post 9/11, and this is a Tom King book.
Wasn't he CIA?
He is ex-CIA, as Twitter never likes to let us forget.
So what we're saying is Tom King has probably brought down a legitimate government.
Maybe, probably, maybe.
Allegedly.
Okay, sorry.
Look,
I don't want to die from 40 shots in the back of my head by suicide.
I mean, I get it.
I mean, look. At the end of the day, there is not nearly as much of that shit in his writing as people like to make it seem.
No, I think it doesn't help that the first book I know him for is Agent Grayson, and I don't know if that's how he imagined himself.
I doubt it.
See, I still think some of his current Wonder Woman stuff is reckoning with his own personal past as working for the United States government.
Certainly not as much as Jenny Sparks is, though.
Do I?
All you have to do is read the description of those books.
Anyway, back to Batburger, because
the fun continues because we're not just here with Duke and Bruce. It's Dick, Jason, and Damian.
It's a family day out.
It is, and Damian gets a little Red Hood toy. Why are there Red Hood toys at Batburger? I don't know.
He's a goofy little guy.
A goofy
He's
little.
done nothing wrong.
Batburger is run by Tumblr stands, which actually makes a lot of sense.
He's just got a little bit silly and killed some people 1 or 2 times, 3 or 4.
A silly little guy. Anyway, so Bruce is rightfully worried about Bane coming back to get him, and he's warning the family not to get involved. Also, Bruce eats
his burger with a fork and knife, which. Yeah, Bruce is a fucking billionaire.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't like
it is funny. Basically, I do also just really like Batburger as, like, if I can have a legit conversation about it, I guess. It's basically for a great backdrop to this, because, like, we're having a very serious conversation, but also the setting allows King to inject these really great little character moments in between the conversation.
The kids are fun.
I also genuinely like the Bat family, like, as a concept,
and them going out to lunch together. It's nice.
Yeah, and it also helps. Oh, there's a drop that Tim is dead. That's
we gotta remember that. Yeah,
well, Tim is dead. You can't see it, but I'm doing
the air quotes. Yeah,
air quotes. He's dead. Yeah. I won't spoil what happened, but he's
Timothy Drake is out of the picture right now.
Yeah,
he's killed by drones.
Yeah, but Bruce leaves, and the family pretty much all decide, like, we're gonna help anyway, because because Bruce Wayne raised us.
Duke is the only smart one. He's the only one who isn't arrogant.
Yeah. But then Bruce goes
also establishing that Bruce needs 5 days to save Claire, who is still mentally distressed, shall we say. And of course we have, the kids are, gonna help. Nothing bad could happen with this plan.
No.
My God, Jacob, I just have to know, did you see that fucking cliffhanger coming? Like, oh my God, it is.
I didn't actually. I thought we would actually get, like, I thought. So okay, so for expectations for this entire thing, I had the feeling that this entire episode was actually going to end on the marriage proposal. I thought that's just like, if I had to guess.
Oh.
Okay.
And I felt like, okay, so King, like, with the openings, I thought, okay, so King wanting to build up to this marriage proposal, and then obviously end up doing a whole wedding arc that I know gets derailed because comic books. I had the feeling that it was like, well, we're also going to want to explore what Catwoman being engaged to Bruce Wayne would do to Bruce Wayne's family. So I thought,
we certainly will get into that next time we continue this run.
That is very much your next arc.
That's our next couple arcs, including, I will say, a fucking fantastic Wonder Woman arc in there. It's really cool. Yeah, I really love that one. Also the Superman and Lois one is very fun. I love that too.
That's a good issue.
So my point is, I thought that, like, I am Bane, because we're also probably doing sort of a Nightfall-y type thing here, because King, like, loves to throw out his references, and Nightfall is kind of one of the first arcs where the Bat family is really a thing, like, in the modern context, if that makes sense.
Where they're all fully utilized in one setting, I would say.
Where they're utilized, and they sort of have utilized, and they're sort of a unit, if a dysfunctional unit, because dysfunctional family. So I thought, we're going to start laying the groundwork here. We did not do well.
We are doing that, but we'll get into later on in the spoilers. We'll talk about why you're still wrong and right at the same time.
Anyway, rooftop scene,
and And the same thing as before. Batman's just warning Selina that Bane is coming and that that she needs to get out of the way. Meanwhile, Gordon shows up, and also important time to remember that Rooftop still ended, and Selina is still on the run. She's still wanted, so there's that. But she gets away because Selina Kyle shit. Yeah. But yeah, we end our issue then back at Wayne Manor. Bruce taking Claire to the Batcave to protect her, and as we get down here, we see strung up from the fucking ceiling of the Batcave, Dick Grayson, Jason Todd, and Damian Wayne, looking like they're hanging from nooses with the words "I am Bane" painted on their bodies. Holy fucking shit! Oh my god!
My little notes are like, is it? Did we just hang the Bat family? Or is this mannequins? This has to be mannequins, right? You're not feeling involved.
Much to your I doubt disappointment. No, the answer is no. No, this is really them. And
Jason Todd actually dies again. That's the thing.
That's it, exactly.
Technically, all three of them actually die again.
This is how we make the Jason Todd different resurrections of Jason Todd actually work in the same continuity.
God, we're gonna get the 9 lives of Jason Todd.
Yes. But no, actually getting into this, Batman number 17. We're going to move on from that and focus on Bane for a second or two here. Who are we opening? Oh no, Bronze Tiger. Duh.
We have to do just a little bit of Bronze Tiger.
Who just also there's a great little hint here to larger. Since you brought up Nightfall, introducing back into this story, the idea of Bane's little entourage he carries around with him. Did you catch that on this page? The little caw there. I love that. I think it's great.
And Bane, it honestly surprised me that Bane was that King was using like this trio of characters, because let's be honest, like, when people think of Nightfall, they don't think of them. They probably should, because they're actually an integral part of why the Nightfall as a story works. Like,
exactly, because Bane has his own family too, in a weird fucked up sort of way. The most interesting of which was always Bird, and Bird is like the only one that's ever been adapted. The one that's only ever been adapted into anything else. It was a shit adaptation, but Bird is still there somewhere.
Well, I mean, there's the audio drama.
That's true, but they did also put Bird into Arkham Origins, and it's
yes, they did.
Yeah, it's just not at all the same character. It's just a guy named Bird that works with Bane. It's really shit.
Arkham Origins was certainly a game.
I'm an Origins defender. I recognize a lot of its faults.
Anyway, we have Superman. We have Bruce's best friend in the whole world.
Yeah, look after my kids, please.
Literally. Yeah, Bruce is keeping Dick, Jason, and Damian in the Fortress of Solitude.
Please keep them locked in here. I think Bane is going to kill Jason again.
Yeah.
And he also asks Clark to stay out of it. Which,
that story's got a story, because Clark could end it in like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
Clark could end it with only using his like pinky finger. Like,
come on, we've all seen. I feel like we've all seen that one episode of The New Adventures, or was it a Superman animated series? The one where Clark literally has to pretend to be Bruce.
Oh yes, oh yeah. I love that one. Oh my god, yeah. The one with Raish.
Like, we know Clark could finish this quickly, but Bruce likes to do things alone.
Yeah. Well, also, I mean, I think King handles that really well here, because it is King both, writing Clark and Bruce their dynamics really well. He's writing them really well, but also recognizing, and also recognizing like why this story needs to be what it is. Bruce taking on this mission alone. It's great. I think it really works. But
yes, anyway. we also get how Bruce has been sneaking Gotham Girl into Arkham Asylum to get her near Psycho Pirate for treatment.
Mm-hmm. Which is Alfred Pennyworth disguised as Jeremiah Arkham, taking a patient into Arkham Asylum, which is in fact Claire, just wrapped in bandages. Do they try to say this is Hush? Is that
they do?
Hush,
they do.
Meant to be Hush.
Yeah, yep. But it's really Claire wrapped in bandages, and they take her there to go see Psycho Pirate, and who is blindfolded. Yeah, we're keeping her here for now. Meanwhile, we got a full great wraparound, which is the wraparound of the hardcover of the deluxe edition,
which is gorgeous.
Love it. Good, badass David Finch art. Good shit.
I came into the entire run came into my possession, shall we say? I haven't looked at the other covers yet, and it's very tempting to do so because I love these wraparounds.
They're really nice. Oh! You haven't taken off the sleeves yet?
I haven't. Ooh. I've been like, I'm saving it. I'm saving it until we get to it.
Saving yourself for marriage. All right. But yeah, then we get to see a Bird in full again, which is fucking insane. I just love the inclusion of Bird here. It's fucking awesome.
Attacking orphanages.
Yep, as you do.
Kidnapping Selena Kyle.
As you do.
As you do. Then Alfred Pennyworth holds a gun to Psycho Pirate's fucking head. As he tries to get him to...
Bruce has rules Alfred doesn't. He will point a gun at you.
Yes.
He will just point a gun at you. I imagine Alfred Pennyworth would...
He would fire the fucking
Alfred
gun.
Will shoot. Alfred has shot many a person.
And he will not miss.
Alfred Pennyworth does not give a fuck.
Alfred Pennyworth is very much like Frank Reynolds. So anyway, I started blasting.
Yeah. Oh man!
How have we not had you on the podcast before, Kian?
Legit! I fucking I'm gonna have Kian on everything now.
Then I have to buy everything. Or pirate, not pirate it. Sorry. Go to my local library that is only open for 2 hours a day.
Wait, really?
Yeah, something like that. There's another one near, but the one nearest to me, I think, is only open like 2-3 hours a day.
Wow, Jesus!
Something dumb.
Wow.
I might be exaggerating. Maybe it's 5.
No, I don't exaggerate. Or do exaggerate, I should say.
It's not good. Austerity. Margaret Thatcher bad.
Yeah.
Tories bad.
Anyway, but then we see the rest of Bane's guys capturing Gordon and or attempting to capture Gordon as Duke comes out and fights them off. Get a great little action scene there. We end our second
Signals outfit.
What's up?
I like the Signals outfit.
It's a great suit. I do like it.
When does Duke become the Signal? That's in like
this is the Signal here.
Yeah, but like when does it?
When did it happen previously?
Batman, I think technically.
It was it was All-Star Batman, Scott Snyder.
Yeah, it's Snyder's Rebirth Batman, All-Star Batman.
So it's definitely something that we need to read.
We do. Jacob, there's so much. There's so much.
Not to be confused with All-Star Batman and Robin, which isn't good.
It isn't, yeah. But no, All-Star Batman by Scott Snyder. We could probably do that in like 2 episodes.
Well, All-Star Batman, I feel like you might want to read it when you eventually do Dark Knight's Metal, because it is kind of just setting up a lot of that.
Yeah, that's true. Also just has a great fucking Two-Face story in there. I love that opening arc.
Yeah.
It's great. Anyway. But yeah, we end our second day here with the sort of clock counting down, Bane signaling his presence, having captured Bronze Tiger, Catwoman, the Signal, and Gordon, and taking us into Batman number 18.
With a cover that is this one is the big Nightfall homage cover.
Yeah, that's great. Beautiful stuff.
All of Bruce's allies. Well, he's taken out a lot of people, Bane. And I think this is the issue where Bane goes full metal as well.
Oh yeah. And I know I know you're talking about.
Sorry, I forgot. This issue is the one in my notes. It's the parallel at the start between Bane and Bruce is great.
Yeah,
and I just
it goes throughout the whole issue. It's
this entire thing is a parallel.
Yeah.
Mother's a key. I think Tom King really likes The Dark Knight Rises.
I don't know if that's it. I think he's just doing a great job on expanding on Bane's backstory.
Yeah, because I'm not going to deny there isn't Dark Knight Rises influence, because that entire film trilogy is influential for a reason, but
Mm-hmm.
Honestly,
but also, I mean,
this
is just kind of
as
recounting Vengeance the Bane, isn't it? Like it's
this is more of King likes Nightfall for good reason.
Well,
Nightfall,
he likes the good parts of Nightfall.
yeah,
The main
Nightfall
reason,
itself is good.
Yeah.
the main reason I get the Dark Knight Rises, it's the bit with Gordon, and I always just think of the end scene of not the end scene of the Dark Knight Rises. It's the Bruce finally revealing himself to Gordon. A hero can be anyone,
That's
even
fair.
a man putting a coat around a young boy who's just lost everything to show him the world isn't terrible.
That's true. I guess the comics have never really done Gordon being directly involved in the.
Gordon's
the
always quite new to Gotham when Batman is quite new to Gotham.
Yeah,
that's usually what they go for.
Yeah, so
it's very rare.
Usually, it's Leslie who's the first person to comfort Bruce in the alleyway.
Yeah, but honestly, I do like Gordon. I do prefer this to the year one thing of Gordon being new to Gotham personally.
I think it's really to show that Gordon's very fresh in Gotham usually, but I think I do prefer the way the Dark Knight trilogy does it. Like, despite it all, Gordon is still a good man deep down.
Well, I think for a lot of Gordon's history as a character, he just really wasn't super duper important to the Batman mythology.
True.
Like honestly, like I mean, he had important things to do, but honestly, it was the most important thing about Gordon was that his daughter was Batgirl for a long time. And
daughter slash depending on where you are.
That probably is actually the main influence of the Dark Knight trilogy.
Yeah, is just making
Gordon
more
important.
Yeah, honestly. I mean, and that I think a lot of that can be attributed to Gary Oldman just being fucking awesome.
I'd argue that Gordon's importance almost becomes as oddly enough, it is I'd argue it's partially adaptations. I'd argue the Adam West show, even before they introduced Batgirl, at least gave Gordon a solid-ish character to come over.
I sometimes forget.
If I were to attribute it to if I were to attribute it to an adaptation before the Dark Knight trilogy, I would say it's BTAS. Because Bob Hastings makes such a strong impression in that show.
That too. That's part of my point, is that it's this continual evolution with subsequent adaptations, just elevating this character. Because
I mean, here's the thing: like, what the Dark Knight trilogy actually does is make Gordon the Bat Family character, because that trilogy never wanted to do any Bat Family characters. So Gordon is your sidekick, really.
And I mean, if you got Gary Oldman, you're going to use Gary Oldman. Obviously.
And he's so fucking good. Yeah, just that was a weird tangent, but honestly important. So yeah.
Well, again, it's where I'm getting my parallels, but the mothers are the key, and not in a Batman v Superman way. Like, Bane is just unstoppable for this issue.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Yeah. This is the part of the fight. I mean, this fight really goes across the last couple issues of this arc, but this is the part of the fight where Bane is the clear victor. He is the winner of this part of the fight.
But yeah, the entire issue is parallels, like we said, parallels of Bruce and Bane.
Yep. We do also get some year one tree kicking in this, which, despite we already mentioned, contradicting year one with the Gordon thing, sort of playing into that idea of what King was doing with the Catwoman relationship previously, of how they first met, with the King just kind of playing around with continuity and making it not so much about their character histories, but more about where King is writing them.
I can never decide if that accidentally works perfectly with what Rebirth was going for, where technically, everything we said that wasn't in continuity can be in continuity again.
Yeah. Well, really, I always took especially the convergence message of like, whatever stories mean the most to you, I think is really what canon means in the DC universe. I think I kind of like that approach.
It also makes it a lot easier to actually read a story than Marvel's slavish devotion.
Yeah,
Marvel, everything is canon until we say otherwise.
Yeah, I'll never forget the fucking experience of reading Alias and there being a flashback to like early Spider-Man Peter Parker days, and them saying like 15 years ago this comic was published in like 2004. It's like, come on, shut the fuck up.
I mean, my favorite. I'm not going to go on a tangent on things I like about Jessica Jones and Spider-Man.
What? You mean that whole flashback issue and her relationship to Peter Parker?
I just like that Pete doesn't know who she is and just calls her Coma Girl in one issue of New Avengers. I think it's New Avengers.
I think. I don't know.
It must be New Avengers. It has to be New Avengers.
That's some Bendis shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Bendis is an interesting. Have you done any Bendis yet?
We have not done any Bendis.
We haven't.
Here's the thing. I think once we start doing Bendis, it'll be like a Jeff Johns thing where he's just going to pop up everywhere on the podcast. Once we start Bendis,
I mean, they certainly were hyping up his Superman by the time it was starting.
Bendis is coming, man.
Bendis is coming.
Anyway, back to the parallel.
Jacob, this episode's never going to end.
Now, I am here to keep us on. I am here to at least try to tie us to a rail.
Do you realize this? Do you realize this episode's almost an hour long already?
Oh, I am aware.
We've covered 3 issues.
Oh my god. Yeah. Okay. Anyway. Yeah. Great parallels throughout. It's played alongside this fight between Bane and Bruce. Also, Catwoman totally fucks up Bane's plan because Catwoman captures
Catwoman is just smart.
Yeah, she captures Bane's posse, hangs them upside down from ropes.
It's heavily implied that this was. It's heavily implied that this was Selina's plan from the beginning. That this is why Selina was in disguise as random blonde lady.
Totally. Bring us to Batman number 19. That's it.
19.
I've got one very crucial note for issue 19. What? I believe it is when the issue opens. It's not quite when the issue opens, but it's a couple of pages in. But when Bane calls himself Venom, he is Venom. Bane is Venom, starring Tom Hardy.
Yes, absolutely. That's it. With Tom Hardy as Bane, absolutely. We come full circle.
Also, it's just great the villains that Tom King does, like Maxi Zeus.
Yeah, we get Maxi Zeus.
A decent chunk of that is referencing Nightfall.
Yeah. These are all. Yeah, I think these are all characters from Nightfall because we even get Amygdala and Grundy. It's kind of crazy.
Bane is just like beating on everyone.
Yep, we get Two-Face. The idea is that Batman has literally paid off the Arkham inmates to stand between him and Bane. He fights off Maxi Zeus, Two-Face, Solomon Grundy, Amygdala. Again, can't get over Amygdala being there.
He's able to will his way through Scarecrow's fear.
My God!
Honestly, the Scarecrow sequence is
terrifying.
Well, it made me realize, we didn't get that in like Nightfall, like when we possibly should have, like, because the Scarecrow sequence itself could be its own goddamn issue. Like,
yeah. Well, I came to one other main conclusion here. I just think that this is proof Bane should get a lantern ring. You could give him red, you could give him green. I think he might have earned green just from the Scarecrow sake.
Honestly, yeah, legit. Honestly, I think a lot of things could apply to Bane. Really, a lot of
he's terrifying in this issue, but I would probably give him red.
Yeah. Probably.
DC, call us and hire us for a Bane miniseries.
We will give him every lantern ring.
Let it be a sequel to that Kid Flash mini they never released. It was in like the round robin, where it was going to be Kid Flash versus his uncle with like a yellow lantern ring. It was like, oh,
yes.
Okay, yes. Can we have that, please, DC?
Yep. We do also see Alfred just letting fucking loose on Bruce for literally arming the Arkham inmates. I love that. Yeah. Just Alfred getting so pissed off at him for this.
Can I just say, I love this line. He hanged the boys. He hanged my son from a rock in a cave.
Oh my God. So fucking good.
People like to say Bruce Wayne is a bad father, but
well, he is a bad father. He should say sons.
He should say sons.
But I mean, let's be fair. I think he's definitely referring to Damien in that moment.
I know, but I'm a fan of him. I like the idea of him calling them all his son.
Yeah. I mean, also, like, fucking. Have you guys seen that the one page from Zarsky's first Batman arc, when he's talking about Tim and he does the whole "that's my son" moment.
Where he's up against Failsafe. Batman writers need to remember they're not his soldiers, they're his kids.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, I remember people getting so worried when Zarsky started his Batman run, because he started with the whole Frank Miller, like, my soldier, whatever, inner monologue, that's a good soldier, whatever. And then it was like, no, it's like they realized something's wrong with Batman. That's why that moment of "he's my son" is so rewarding in that moment.
So crucial.
Because it's so.
How you two are just dangling future Batman stories right in front of me.
Oh, you've got
this entire thing.
You've got a while to get to that, but technically it's all continuing on from this.
Yeah, honestly, it's all part of Rebirth.
Batman and Nightwing are like the only ones really that have kept their number in since Rebirth. Unless obviously Action and Detective.
Action and Detective, but those are the only ones. Everything else
they have legacy numbering anyway, so that's the whole thing.
Well, Action and Detective started Rebirth with legacy numbering.
Yeah, they went back to legacy numbering, but Nightwing and Batman are the only ones that have actually kept their numbers since Rebirth.
Yeah. Anyway, so Bane fights off more Batman villains. Freeze, Firefly, Black Spot. Shit, I hit my fucking thing.
How come when I fight Mr. Freeze, I have to lure him into 4 different traps, but Bane can just punch his way through him?
Exactly. Why can't I do that? Jacob, finish Arkham City, you bastard. Black Spider, he hasn't finished it yet. Otherwise, there'd be a fucking bonus episode on it. Anyway,
we got Man-Bat, we got Zaz.
We do.
We got Hush, the actual Hush.
We got Copperhead. We got Mad Hatter. Dr. Phosphorus, which is awesome.
Again, Tom King probably channeling his inner Jeff Loeb, giving us kind of a chilling Calendar Man scene.
Honestly, I think
same back channel.
I think you can trace so much of King's Batman down to Jeff Loeb shit. To be honest,
he is Jeff Loeb. That is who he.
Tom King is Jeff Loeb. Jeff Loeb said some racist shit at a Marvel panel, and then he changed his identity to Tom King.
Well, he regenerated into Tom King.
Yeah.
He joined the CIA, found some legitimate government, and went back to writing comics.
Yes.
I don't think he realizes the double Doctor Who reference he accidentally just made.
Yes, I just did.
Wait, what was I missed it?
Subtle.
Wait,
the CIA.
Oh, son of a bitch! God damn it! That's
speaking of that, Robert Holmes wasn't exactly subtle, wasn't he? Calling his shady government organization the CIA.
It just stands for a different thing.
Yeah, I know, but it wasn't subtle.
No.
Anyway, we also get a little bit of teasing with the Riddler of tell him I still remember our war of jokes and riddles. Still remember what he did.
I mean, also just somehow Batman has new god technology installed in Arkham, and I'm like, that seems dangerous.
Well, I think that's a post Darkseid War thing.
That just seems dangerous more than anything. Leaving new god technology.
I think so much of I think this issue in particular is really to show how desperate Batman is in this moment, because he really is all alone at this time. And we close out with Bane and Batman coming face to face and taking us into Batman number 20. This is day 5.
The final part.
The final part of I Am Bane. Let's get right into it. So, let's recap the Tom King arc with the airplane and have our fight happen side by side. Literally Twitter moment here. This is the big panel that gets.
This is the panel.
The page that gets tossed around all the time, but it is fucking great.
I mean,
I'll read it out because
you know how I have a joke whenever I watch the 11th Doctor's era about certain music being played when the Doctor does a certain kind of speech where he has a big. It's one of them moments. Yeah. Let's go with moment and not anything else. You know what I refer to I Am the Doctor as.
Yeah.
I mean, this is also, let's be honest, this is also an earned moment because we have just spent the previous 4 issues having Bruce systemically beaten down.
Yeah. So
So
it's the line is the Twitter moment that I refer to is you know how many times I've heard that rest in peace, Batman. There's no escape, Batman. Time to die, Batman. Every night, over and over and over for so many years. This is the end, Batman. Every damn night, and yet I'm still here. That is like, I think
now do it in Kevin Conroy's voice.
I used to see. I could probably still do a decent Kevin Conroy voice, but that is beside the point.
And do it to the tune of "I'm Still Here" from Follies.
Shut the fuck up.
Chuckle while you do it.
Also, that Frank Miller ass pose that he's making at the end of that page. Oh my god, I love that. Some Dark Knight Returns shit right there. I love it. But yeah, fight. Also, recount Endgame because sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We basically have to do everything that's brought us to this point.
Yeah. It's just King using the given circumstances for Bruce's entire arc leading up to this moment. It's great stuff. We do all that. Fight. A lot of great lines throughout this. A lot of great action sequences. David Finch gets the opportunity to really fucking shine here.
Especially as Tom King.
It's so bloody.
Oh, so fucking bloody.
I mean, Tom King it's not as clear in this one, but he does leave a lot of space for the artist to just do what they want.
Oh yeah. Well, here's the thing. I think he does that especially in his Batman run because he was doing twice monthly. Like
I do.
He had to go out really fast. So he was like, let the artists tell the story for me.
He did a Stan Lee. I've got too much to write.
I mean, legit. But I think this is a better solution to it than the Stan Lee problem. You see, here's the thing: with Tom King, you can tell that he wasn't writing as much because there's literally less dialogue on the page. Stan Lee, there's somehow more.
I mean, again, it's just the mother is the key. Like, I don't know if it's some Batman adaptations, they always go for Bruce's motivation as his father. I always feel like it's his mother is more the one he is motivated to fight crime by.
I think it really depends on what each Batman writer is trying to say with their particular story. It depends on which side of Batman you're trying to tap into. So, like,
I think the key is also in how you present the Wayne death. Like, some versions emphasize the father, some emphasize the mother.
Mm-hmm.
Tom King is probably going for the mother at the moment for a reason, which comes next.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he does a bit of both. He does the mother here, and then we're following this up with the button, which has big Thomas Wayne energy.
Thomas.
But yeah, no, I think both work in different contexts. But anyway,
we even get a little bit.
What's up?
We even get a little bit of a Batman quip.
We do.
Bane yelling, I know you're Bane, but you forget I'm Batman.
So fucking good. And yeah, that is like the finishing blow. Bane goes down. We get a great little flashback finishing off the issue with Martha Wayne, and that closes out the issue. And as such,
I think that this final page is King once again writing home that he did all of this just to help Gotham Girl.
Oh yeah,
like
again, Bruce's. I think I first saw it in Young Justice. Bruce's reason for why he takes on orphans isn't so they turn out like him; it's so they don't turn out like him.
Oh yeah.
And this page feels like it would be a great ending for the first leg of Tom King's Batman. I understand why it's in this second volume because
and also in our second Tom King episode, because could you imagine how much longer that first episode would be if we also covered I Am Bane?
Oh, at least that we could very possibly get close to 4-5 hours on that episode.
So let's not do that.
So now we get to sidestep.
Now we get crossover.
Crossover event. Hey Jacob, we've been reading a lot of Joshua Williamson recently. How about some more?
We have.
Yeah, I do really hate how much is spoiled by button covers, and when you open up, say, the deluxe edition of the collected edition, like Reverse Flash is just right fucking there.
See, I have a different thing. Mine is the deluxe edition on its own, and it just shines. It's the movable cover.
Oh
I don't know how to explain it.
I have all of the movable hollow covers of the original 4 issues, and those give away some big things about the story.
Yes, issue 22.
Yeah, yep.
Of the Flash, even. I just realized they're both issue 22. Of the
yeah,
Flash,
both 22 for both of them. Yeah.
I have a lot to say about parts of the button.
Yeah, but as I understand it, I think I remember with Andrew's submission earlier, he saw it as an unpopular opinion, but I think the button is actually pretty well liked. I'm pretty sure. I don't think I've read it wrong, but I think most people enjoy the button.
Again, one writer is clearly wanting to write a crossover more than the other.
Mm-hmm.
One writer but even then,
I think Williamson is more dedicated to the crossover, and while King still does a solid job with the crossover, he clearly is also setting up big things for his Batman run in particular.
King is smart. He uses the crossover to also set up his arc.
Yeah, exactly. So
it's kind of the smartest thing you can do when Jeff Johns is like, oh, by the way, I want you to start. I need you to use 2 issues of your run to set up my big event I'm doing.
Mm-hmm. And this big event is going to be a Watchmen sequel.
Oh yeah, by the way, if Alan Moore sees any of your issue, he's going to put a curse on you.
Yep, and thankfully, Williamson and King seem to have avoided that, and Jeff Johns has not.
I don't know. I mean, he did tweet the picture of Batman holding the button, Alan Moore, and it is the Batman run of Rebirth I like a lot less.
See, I think that's also just your bad taste, Kian.
I was also going to say the next time Tom King touched a Flash, we did get Heroes in Crisis.
Yes.
Don't say. Oh, that's true. That was King's penance for this.
Which I have been told I have been told is one of the many sins in the line of DC fucking over Wally West.
Yeah. I'm the Wally West stan. Do not talk to me about Heroes in Crisis.
That reminds me, we need to get Kian on for some Flash shit too.
We do.
Yes, you do.
Other Flash shit. No, I mean, this is also Flash.
This counts.
This is Barry. He's the more conservative Flash. He's
Kian, are you really going to say that when we literally have photographic evidence and proof that Wally West is a Midwestern
conservative?
No, he was in his like Reddit incel phase. Barry Allen never got out of that.
I doubt that. I think we've literally read
the biggest sin of the CW was trying to convince people that Green Arrow and Barry Allen would be friends. They're work colleagues at best. They hate each other.
Yeah.
One's a communist. One's a very much not a communist.
Anyway, let's get into this with Batman number 21.
I will say immediately going into this, different vibes. Like
very different vibes. Yeah.
Well, again, we're doing our first little bit of Rebirth continuity shenanigans with, I believe it's Saturn the Girl. I want to say.
Yeah, I think so.
I think it's Saturn Girl, and she's like shouting about the Legion, and there's a hockey match, which I think which is obviously paralleling what happens next in the issue.
Mm-hmm. Which I like that in all of Batman's research, he just also has the hockey game going on the back computer.
Don't we all try and work while listening to something?
You know what? That's relatable. I just think it's a little weird for Batman to have a sporting event on as he's investigating this mysterious button that has appeared out of nowhere.
And maybe he just likes hockey. I don't know.
I love his investigations of the button. Is just how many different angles can we photograph this button from?
It is a striking image, even if it makes no sense.
Oh, it's just good. I mean, the button's fun. Just like it leads to bad stuff. We see like this is where there's a lot of bits in this issue where I'm like, yeah, this is where Tom King is just. I'll let the artist carry this for a little while.
Oh yeah, big time. Because we've got first. Also, what's really cool is with the artist, which is Jason Fabok for this issue. We're also kind of homaging some Dave Gibbons 9-panel grids from Watchmen.
Mm-hmm.
So
be like hey guys, remember Watchmen? We're doing a Watchmen.
We're doing. We're trying. We need to. Don't tell Alan Moore though.
But plaster it all over the covers and let it be probably the most talked about thing in comics at the time it came out.
Yeah, I mean, I remember a lot about Rebirth.
It was fucking massive. But yeah, so Batman, while investigating this thing, Psycho Pirate's mask kind of like glitches out next to the button next to him, next to it, and out of this, Bruce sees a vision of Papa Batman, red suit Thomas Wayne Batman in front of him, that quickly disappears and goes away. And Bruce contacts Barry about this and is like, "Hey, man, you should get here because some weird shit just happened." And Barry's like, "I will be right there in exactly 1 minute." And we get such a cool sequence that I love this sequence so much. The 1 minute countdown, it's so good.
Yeah.
I know that like current Flash stuff plays around with this idea, and I'm like, yes, please. This is how you do a speedster. Like literally,
I do need to read 1 Minute War. I've heard that's really good.
1 Minute War's good.
Yeah, I need to read that whole run.
I know who was that still? That wasn't Williamson. It was Adams.
It was Adams. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, no, Williamson left. Adams. I mean, the Flash. They've been putting consistent writers on the Flash recently, and I'm like,
apparently, the Flash has been good since Williamson's run, which started
been
back
good since Williamson's run, but it got even better when it went from being a Barry book to a Wally book.
Yeah, I mean, I also I don't know. I like both the two big New 52 Flash runs between
I mean, I've enjoyed Manipul's run, what I've read of it so far.
Manipul's great, and I do like the Vendetti stuff that comes after.
Yeah, I can respect that.
But yeah. Anyway, but yeah. So in this 1 minute that it takes Barry to get there, Batman is beat to shit by Reverse Flash, who shows up
Quite the reverse, actually.
Quite the reverse, actually.
So everyone was like, "Oh, we're doing a Flashpoint sequel."
Mm-hmm.
Because, somehow, I mean, I didn't open to the first title page.
Oh, so you missed the Reverse Flash thing there. Okay.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, okay, this is what we're doing. This is great. This is fun. This will be interesting.
And honestly, the button, maybe hot take here. This is the actual button hot take. It's a better Flashpoint sequel than a Doomsday Clock prologue. I think.
Sure, but not high bar.
I mean, fuck off. Doomsday Clock.
You forget, Joey likes Doomsday Clock.
It's not bad. Yeah. The only thing that really fucked over Doomsday Clock was the release schedule. Like honestly,
maybe I need to.
Just read it as a complete story. Like it's solid. I like it.
I will be the judge of that when we eventually cover it on the podcast.
Yeah.
I hope that's not what episode 100 is.
Jacob, I'll pay you 20 quid not to like it.
My price to be bought is way more than 20 quid.
I honestly don't think Jacob's gonna like it anyway, but I mean, I think he'll appreciate aspects of it.
Maybe.
It'll be at least an interesting story to discuss when we actually get to it.
Also, the most horrifying thing that happens in this book, in this issue, is Reverse Flash ripping up the note from Thomas.
Ripping up the letter.
Oh my god! And just the way Fabok draws the look on Bruce's face, then just fucking horrified.
And then Bruce decides to enter. This is like, yeah, he can do stuff because he's Batman. Is like, yeah, but to keep yourself phasing like that, you still need a solid ground. It's just batarang to the foot.
Yep. Oh my god, so good.
I'd argue Bruce getting the brief upper hand is.
Yeah, he gets free. He gets like 5 seconds before Reverse Flash is like thunderclap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, King is like, no, a speedster can easily take out Bruce Wayne. Yeah. Like Bruce is clever.
Someone as fast as Eobard Thawne can.
Oh yeah, Eobard Thawne he's usually the fastest of the Flashes.
Yeah. So yeah, that is why so much is able to happen in 1 minute, and why the sequence is so fucking cool. But anyway,
and then it's like I only need 11 seconds to win,
which he does. He beats Bruce to shit. And
no. Bruce thinks he only needs 11 seconds to win.
Oh, yes.
And Bruce lasts the 11 seconds. But Barry Allen. Oh, Barry, you're always late.
He had a valid excuse.
Yeah. But yeah, after beating Bruce, Reverse Flash goes to the button itself, looks at it, holds it, disappears into nothingness, and then comes back and dies into nothingness. And it is such a cool fucking sequence. Even if you, Jake, I understand you are on principle against the idea of a Watchmen sequel, but
not because it's sacred, but because we don't need it.
Okay, but if you want to build up Dr. Manhattan, is there a better fucking way to do it than this?
Have him kill have him kill Reverse Flash.
Like, come on. Like, that is so fucking good, isn't it?
I mean, you're not wrong.
Come on, it's so fucking good. And Barry finally arrives, and the issue ends with him finding beaten, bloody Bruce and dead Eobard Thawne on the cave, on the floor of the Batcave. Like, it's so fucking good. I love it. Bring us into the Flash number 21.
Flash number 21. Yeah, so I was honestly kind of surprised that we
get more Rebirth shenanigans.
Yeah.
By the way, also, for those that didn't know, last week we released a one-shot about DC Universe Rebirth. I forgot to promote that at all in this so far. But yeah, we released that because I wanted Jacob to read DC Universe Rebirth number 1 before he read the button. And so we did that.
I am so glad you had me do it, because this issue would have no context.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I don't think it would hit nearly... I don't think some of the... oddly enough, I don't think there's this very brief scene with Wally in this issue.
Yeah.
Yes.
That doesn't quite work as well with if you don't have that context.
Yeah. Also, by the way, in the deluxe edition of the button that you have, so how they show those two covers there, that is basically the two halves of the hollow movable cover. So you can already see how like those covers were totally spoiling aspects of the story. Like,
yeah, I mean, the first one's okay because it's just
it's just Barry and Bruce.
It's Barry and Bruce, and we're promoting that this is it's
a crossover. It's a crossover episode.
Yeah. And so but here, like, it's like you have Reverse Flash in the cover, and then the other half of the cover is him being obliterated by Dr. Manhattan. So,
Oh yeah, that's a choice. Anyway, so we start this Flash issue with poor Mr. Thunder.
Johnny Thunder.
Who is ranting about the Justice Society being lost, because I feel like this was also another thing that Jeff Johns told Williamson and King and was like, hey, I'm doing more JSA. I'm getting a JSA book.
Does not happen for a while after this.
Such a long time. Oh my god, yeah.
I don't think they even show up.
And so it gets about as much attention as you'd expect King or Williamson to give Jeff Johns' ramblings, which is like one page in each issue.
Honestly, this first page could just be them predicting Jeff Johns' current state at DC of ramblings that people have to listen to, but like...
Did you take a drink mid-sentence, Jacob?
Yeah, because I could feel myself choking, Joey.
Jacob, just choke Jacob. The listeners want that.
We're gonna get off this tangent because it could go to a very weird place.
Anyway, so yeah, we have Barry setting up a crime scene in the Batcave now. First off, also Howard Porter on art, who we previously read on Night Terrors, I believe.
Yes,
he did a fantastic job on that. But yeah, just great art. It really matches the style of the Flash issues in particular, and the whole crime scene setup we have here. Yeah, it's good stuff. But we also have Alfred helping on the investigation. We have Alfred helping on the investigation, while Bruce is healing, supposed to be healing, very, very slowly. But he tells Barry about what he saw, and you know, as little as he was able to see in that fight. We ponder on the button, and so this is where we also get been a little bit since I read this. Is this where we also get the talk of Flashpoint
Yeah,
here?
we get
a lot
little
of
bit of
musings on
Wally.
Flashpoint.
Yeah.
Because this is going to be a Flashpoint sequel, and it's
Surprise!
a surprise. And we're taking all of this issue from Barry's perspective, which is the right decision.
Oh yeah.
Well, it is the Flash.
It is the Flash. Some crossovers would have a tendency to try to keep everything in the perspective of the character whose book sells more and is more popular.
I need to ask what you're specifically roasting right now.
I don't even know what I'm roasting right now.
See, Jacob, you're not even making a point, you bastard. Anyway, let's go to the Watchtower. Where we're going to continue to investigate. Specifically,
we get the room of Easter eggs.
Yep, classic.
Like Tom King, Joshua Williamson is a
nerd.
But we also get 2 brief panels with Wally knowing that something is out there watching them.
I mean, the idea is that's cool. Like immediately post DC Universe Rebirth.
Yeah, well, this is something that comes up even later. What Wally ends up doing with that, but I can't say anymore.
Mm-hmm. But then we also get our cosmic treadmill here because Flash is going to go back in time, and
it's just great. I love the cosmic treadmill.
It's so much fun. It really is
just fun.
Yeah,
it's a great idea for a time machine. Yes, make a time machine a treadmill with extra sciencey bits, because
I mean, if the way you're time traveling is running, why the fuck not? But yeah, Bruce, dumbass that he is, wants to go along, still healing and still badly beaten, but like, hey, I'm going to come along with you. So I'm literally going to latch onto you with one of my gadgets, and we are going to go back in time together.
We get to see some of the stolen memories, more Rebirth shenanigans, but I'm curious if Jacob knows any of these.
I mean, I think he knows Crisis.
4?
Crisis
4. Yeah,
Crisis shows up. I also think.
Well, one of them is JLI.
One of them is JLI.
Number one.
One of them is just the Golden Age Justice League,
Well,
in terms of design. Oh yeah, it would probably be Silver Age.
Yeah, because Justice League wasn't invented until the Silver Age.
Till the Silver Age, that's right. But yeah, it's just like, alternate universes, because DC has a multiverse.
Well, it's not even it's alternate universes, but also a really cool explanation as to how continual
could be universes in continuity.
Yeah, these are like things that have definitely happened, but the universe does keep
These are things
resetting.
Dr. Manhattan didn't want to happen, and I'm very glad he didn't want Identity Crisis to
happen. But yeah, of course, time travel, this shenanigans, something fucks up. The cosmic treadmill begins to break apart, and Bruce and Barry get sent over to another timeline that, should also be gone right now. We wind up in Thomas Wayne's Batcave of the Flashpoint universe, and we end the issue meeting with Thomas Wayne himself of that universe, taking us into Batman number 22. With, once again, another big-ass spoilery cover. What is with that?
It's just funny at this point.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. But I mean, how fucking metal is that Reverse Flash half, though? Oh my god! Not just the image of Reverse Flash, but also the.
Come on, it's something he'd actually do.
Oh yeah, well, it's Martha and Thomas Wayne being replaced by dead Nora Allen and crying little Barry. Horrifying. I love it. But
yeah.
So here's the thing. Tom King and Joshua Williamson beat Jeff Johns to an idea that Jeff Johns would milk later for a much weaker miniseries called Flashpoint Beyond. Because the idea is that somehow the Flashpoint universe just kept existing beyond its destruction. And
it's the classic time travel question of, if you go back in time and change the past, does it rewrite time, or do you just splinter off?
Yeah.
And as we universes keep going.
But as we know, if you travel back to your past becomes your future, and the present becomes your past, which can't be affected, which then becomes the future, but can't be affected by your new future, which is the past and the present. And yeah, I'm trying to do the Avengers Endgame bit, but I can't remember what Hulk says.
See, I'm just thinking the Austin Powers bit where he's like, "Oh no, I've gone cross-eyed."
Oh no, I've gone cross-eyed.
Well, as we know,
I suggest you don't worry about that thing and just enjoy yourself.
Well, as we know, this isn't accurate for you anyway. As we know, this isn't accurate anyway because the Reapers haven't shown up.
Exactly. Anyway, but catching back up with where we are, though,
I was genuinely surprised we were taking this from Thomas Wayne's perspective. Like,
yeah,
that
I think
threw me a little bit.
Yeah,
it makes sense, but I didn't think it. I didn't think it would happen. I thought we'd be right back in Bruce's perspective to see how Bruce reacts to seeing this version of his father.
But no, it's still about Thomas, because once again, this is also just writers realizing that the actual best thing about Flashpoint is Thomas Wayne Batman, and just take advantage of that, man.
We got a Flashpoint adaptation recently without Thomas Wayne back. Actually, no, both the Flashpoint live action adaptations haven't adapted the best bit.
Exactly, and that's why they suck. And the only good Flashpoint adaptation was the first fucking one they did.
Anyway. I like how
we're talking about the movie Flashpoint Paradox, right?
Yeah, that is legit one of the best DC animated movies, and they should stop trying to adapt Flashpoint after that.
The funniest thing is the CW. I want to say there is an Easter egg that alludes to it, but instead of it being Thomas Wayne is unmasked as Batman, it's Robert Queen is unmasked as the Green Arrow.
Yeah.
It's something dumb like that, because Green Arrow in the CW is Batman.
Here's the thing. Say what you will about the Flash movie. It cannot be nearly as bad as that CW Flashpoint adaptation.
It's a 45-minute adaptation.
Isn't it? It's adapted across a few episodes, isn't it? Or sorry, I should keep saying in air quotes, adapted.
No, the actual Flashpoint itself is one episode.
I could have swore it was more.
It ends up being like the setup for the rest of the season is like them dealing with like some repercussions from
how things have changed after the Flashpoint.
Episode 1 of season 3 is called Flashpoint. Episode 2 is called Paradox. It's literally undone at the end. It's literally undone at the end of episode 1. I'm pretty sure.
I could have swore it was 2 episodes, but all right.
No, it's Flashpoint then Paradox. It's them doing shenanigans.
All right.
I get that Flashpoint is a good story. We've read it for the podcast. I quite like Flashpoint.
It's a great fucking story, yeah.
It's a good story and it serves a purpose.
Yeah.
Stop trying to force it.
This happens every time the Flash shows up on this podcast in a big capacity. We need more Flash adaptations that adapt other things.
Yeah.
Let's have the Rogues, please.
I was going to say, give me live action Rogues in a film.
Yeah,
we didn't even get that on the CW.
Or honestly, if you're going to keep doing the Flashpoint thing, at least do what this comic does, and just like do something with that material that is beyond just here's Flashpoint again. Like,
I also don't think Jeff Johns could have come up with this issue.
Oh God, no way, no way. Because here's at its core, what King is doing is tapping into the emotional core of Flashpoint as a story, rather than the big fucky continuity shit that Flashpoint does. Like
also what Williamson does in his issues of this crossover, like King and Williamson as writers have the potential to be like the next Jeff Johns. In like a good way.
Here's the thing, but Williamson especially. I mean, here's the thing: King would never. King would fucking never.
I would trust Williamson even after Dark Crisis. Where is it? Dark Crisis? Yeah, it's Dark Crisis.
Dark Crisis, dude. Dark Crisis was so good. Fuck off.
I mean, to be fair, the worst bit about Dark Crisis is the editorial decision that clearly wasn't Williamson's decision of
to call it Dark Crisis Infinite Earths.
I meant more just we need to hype up the Black Adam movie.
Oh yeah, that's
that one.
I know the scene.
To.
Yeah, yep. How weird is that going to seem in like a few years' time when people are like, "Man, why does this comic have so much Black Adam?"
There's also that one panel where someone has clearly sketched the eyebrow meme of The Rock, the artist. I can't remember who the artist is, but it's literally if you type in Black Adam Rock eyebrow on Google, you'll find it.
Well, yeah, I know the meme, but I forget that being in the actual comic. Did Daniel Sampere do that? Oh my god!
Yeah, that is in the comic. Just look up afterwards. Everyone look it up. I mean,
wow.
My point is that like with King and like King and Williamson, both as writers, know how to do like a big action story.
Oh yeah,
but it feels because Jeff Johns, let's be honest, 2000s Jeff Johns, still largely regarded as a bunch of good runs.
Oh yeah,
he got too big for his boots.
He really did. He really did. Which is also, I mean, legit. I think it's why we see so much less Joshua Williamson these days, and why he's leaving so many books is because like they clearly wanted him to do so much, and he's like, no, can I just write the books I want to fucking write?
I do even think he got spread thin for a while because like I like the start of his Green Arrow.
That was that big run from Dark Crisis through Night Terrors when they wanted him on like 5 different things.
Yeah, I liked the start of his Green Arrow, but it does sag in the middle a bit.
A little bit. Well, also that was that whole run when they were still really fighting to turn it into an ongoing, and so clearly he had a really solid first 6 issues planned, and then they're like, okay, well now start setting up Absolute Power, and it's like, all right, sure, I guess, and then he just left the book. I don't blame him.
But yeah, Tom King doing the emotional moment really does work here. One complaint, I mentioned it earlier. Bruce, you don't have a son, you have 5 sons and a daughter.
Well, to be fair, at this time, Tim Drake is dead, so...
Yeah, but you don't have
sons. Wait, hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4...
Well, I'm counting Duke.
Oh, right, yeah, Duke does... Well, yeah, Duke would count.
You made the mistake every single DC writer makes these days and forgot that Duke Thomas existed.
Oh, poor Duke.
Except Wayne Family Adventures for some reason. I
have a feeling he'll be showing up in the Batgirl that's coming out because it is a Cass Batgirl book.
That's true. That would be cool.
And they have a thing.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so picking that up. I need more Cass in my life. Anyway, so
Atlanteans and 5 sons and 2 daughters.
Yeah.
Anyway,
he didn't adopt Steph. He adopted Cass.
The combined forces of the Atlanteans and the Themyscirans invade the Batcave, and we have to fight them off. I got us back here eventually.
And Thomas Wayne is ready to end it all.
Yep.
Thomas Wayne's going to blow himself up.
Yeah. And so after this fight, Barry and Bruce decide to go back. The world is supposedly still blowing up and going away. And Thomas... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
We get a minor Batman Begins parallel.
Which one?
Well, at the end, where it's like, why do we fall, Master Bruce?
Oh, yeah.
So we rise.
That's true.
Batman Begin.
Batman Begin, yes. Jacob, have you seen that tweet? The Michael Caine tweet.
I have.
Batman Begin.
Dude, I swear I was fucking dying laughing at that for like 10 minutes straight. Oh my god.
Oh, I can't tell if he's in charge of his account or not.
He has to be. There's no way he isn't. Come on. Batman Begins.
Yeah, it's a nice end for Thomas King Batman. Thomas Wayne Batman.
Thomas King Batman, yes.
Yeah, too many Toms.
Yeah, yeah. When does Tom Taylor show up? Is he Reverse Flash?
Yeah,
Tom Taylor can't show up until we cover him on the podcast.
That's
okay. I'll find you a Tom Taylor book to cover.
We're gonna do fucking Nightwing or maybe Injustice. I do like his early Injustice stuff.
You could do early Injustice is good.
Dude, especially that first year of Injustice books, Taylor, that is like my favorite Tom Taylor right there. Those first 12 issues are fucking banger after banger.
Wait, a couple things that I do really like to want to muse on. I really like seeing Thomas and Bruce Wayne interact in this issue. Like,
oh yeah.
And I love the idea of trying to give up Batman.
You can. It's a drug.
I don't think you can.
Not to spoil anything about future things with King's run, but I think quitting being Batman is not necessarily like a larger theme that King plays with, but like the idea of why
is there a Batman?
Yeah, why is there Batman? What would it take to stop being Batman? Is a question that King ponders on a lot in a lot of his future stories.
Gotham to be perfect, which is never going to happen because it's Gotham.
Yeah,
it is literally cursed by Lovecraftian gods.
Yeah. And literally has the Illuminati. So
yeah,
What are you gonna
Who
do?
like to wear bird masks for some reason.
Because Jacob, owls are the predators of bats, and it's thematic.
I thought that was also just a Call of the Owls is also a reference to. I'm gonna go down one of my weird rabbit holes. Bilderberg group, don't they worship an owl or something?
I don't know.
I'm sure someone will look it up and tell me I'm wrong or right. I swear that's a thing. Without going full Alex Jones.
Of course. Go full Alex Jones, Kian. No. Anyway, closing out the issue.
Who's in the water that are turning the friggin' frogs, gang?
Closing out the issue. We are running, and we find that Reverse Flash. Well, the Reverse Flash that first went back in time with the button has met Dr. Manhattan and is going to where we eventually know he ends up back in the Batcave dead. Ending the issue.
He's not quite met Dr. Manhattan yet.
He's going to meet him. Yeah, sorry.
That's the cliffhanger. That's the big.
Taking us into the Flash number 22 with a beautiful cover, but once again, it actually just
spoils it.
Both versions of it spoil that Jay Garrick is even in it. Like what?
Yeah.
The variant. The variant says Red Robin's in it. He's not.
He's not at all. No.
I think they needed a fourth face, and
then make it fucking I don't know.
Make it Dr. Manhattan. Make it Alfred.
Make it Thomas Wayne.
Make it Thomas Wayne. Yeah,
that's possible. But I will say, can I just say the gold, like the classic version of this cover might be my favorite cover of this arc. Like,
yeah, it's cool.
I know, it gives away that Jay's in it, but I don't know. I love Golden Age comic covers like a lot. Like they're
it's
cool.
Jay Garrick. I mean this in a nice way. Is my third favorite Flash.
I mean, here's the thing.
Technically, there's only one Flash to put below him.
I was gonna say, who else is below him then?
Well,
Bart. I was gonna say,
Bart was the Flash for like 13 issues.
Don't Barry, Jay, and Wally all have their diehard stands. Like
they do. Yeah. They do.
Has there been a bad Flash?
No, not at all.
I mean, a lot of people didn't like Bart as the Flash. But then he only got 13 issues, and they were written by Guggenheim, and I don't like Guggenheim.
My mortal enemy.
He's my mortal enemy for different reasons.
My mortal
Flash
enemy
isn't even that bad. He's just my mortal enemy for other reasons.
Have you read his fucking Green Arrow?
No. Why would I want to read Mark Guggenheim's Green Arrow?
It's so bad. It's so bad.
Was that the new 52 run, or was
it was the new 52? It was literally Guggenheim tries to turn the actual Green Arrow comics into Arrow. It's so
Arrow,
bad.
yeah.
It's so bad.
See, that could be a whole episode. The Mark Guggenheim hate episode.
Yes, I would. That would be the longest episode of Fresh Face.
I mean, Joey is planning at least one block where we just do like bad comics, but they have to be each has to be like a different flavor of bad. We've discussed this before because
So you're going back to Frank Miller.
So I'm not. Well, here's the thing. If we do too much like Frank Miller episode. If we do more than one Frank Miller in a row that's bad, I'm walking.
You don't.
Oh, you're gonna make him read
fine, Jacob. I can just get someone else. I'll get Mason on that. He'll do it.
No, you are not subjecting Mason to this.
That's what I love. You're actually gonna make him read All Star.
Eventually, totally.
Yeah. Anyway,
Flash 22. Wow.
Flash 22.
This episode is so long. It's gonna be so long.
Get your popcorn, guys.
Here's the thing. I have things to say about the other arc. Because like I have so many things to say about what comes next after this, but I also have a lot to say about this because I honestly this mini arc has made me kind of sad that we haven't been back to Flash in a really long time.
Yeah, go back to Flash. I mean, we have also got my favorite bit of Adelbard Thorne dialogue of all time, where he's like, "I am going to go back in time. And I'm going to mess with time so badly. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be a social worker or a next door neighbor or a friend, or I'll take you in. I'll raise you as my own."
Literally, the it was me, Barry meme.
It was me, Barry. Does he do the rest of it?
I think before the "it was me, Barry" meme was a thing. Really.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, like it's what was that, Jacob?
Literally, before the "it was me, Barry" was a thing.
The thing is that meme is something that could have actually happened, because there is a panel where he's like, there is a comic where Reverse Flash is like, everything bad that has ever happened to you was me.
Yeah. Oh God, beautiful shit. Beautiful shit. But we all know where this goes. Of course, Abard goes goes so far up his own ass he meets God, and
like we don't even get to see that it's Manhattan. Like we all probably know it's cool.
And I think honestly the smart thing about building this up is that everyone does already know it's going to be Manhattan, so you don't need to show him, and so you build up the mystique even more, and which is the sheer power of him a lot.
Which is also helpful for someone like me who again doesn't like the idea of continuing Watchmen. You can kind of ignore it. It doesn't get in the way of this being its own story.
You can pretend this is Captain Atom.
Yes, totally. Oh man. Anyway, but yeah, we as we're traveling through the Speed Force, then we meet Jay Garrick, who's finally here in current continuity after at this point, what, a 7-8 year absence, something like that.
Crackacoom. Crackacoom. I love the lightning sound. Like that is my favorite comic.
It is great. Yeah.
Because like wasn't Jay in the New 52 on like
Earth
He was
2? He was Earth 2. Yeah, he was the Earth 2 Flash.
He was given the Flash powers by Mercury, like the literal god.
Yeah. Earth 2 was cool as hell, man. We have to read Earth 2 someday. It's so good.
This sounds like this sounds like weird shit that I'd be in.
Oh, dude, Earth 2 is like one of the most interesting things the New 52 did.
Earth 2's take on the Justice Society is fascinating.
What was that?
Earth 2's take on the Justice Society is fascinating.
Oh god, yes. Oh my god, yeah. Fucking beautiful. I need to reread that run. It's so good.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, so we meet Jay. Jay is here to push Bruce and Barry out of the Speed Force, take them back to the Batcave.
And try to break into the universe, doing like
He's
Wally did.
Also, there is one moment just before that. Do you think they traced over John West?
Okay, I was just going to bring that. I only just noticed that now. So this is what, 2017, 2018?
I'm trying to think, would that have been revealed in the Flash?
So that was what, the end of season 2.
That was season 2, end of season 2.
Okay, so that would have been 2016. So yeah, this would have been after that. I swear that's just John Wesley Shipp then, man. I swear.
I think it would have been 2017, but early 2017.
No, because season one of Flash ended in 2015, so season 2 ended in 2016.
Oh, okay,
so this is definitely after.
They've definitely done that then. Someone has definitely told them, oh, by the way, can you please draw him like John Wesley Shipp?
Right, for exactly your one panel, make him look like John Wesley Shipp.
For one panel, just make it very subtle. This is the only bit of corporate synergy we're going to ever do.
Yeah. And so they do, and Jay disappears back into the Speed Force. And actually, this really a heartwarming scene.
It's a cool scene.
Yeah. Again, just leaving Barry with this hint that like there's just this larger world that
there's someone else who can save Jay.
Yeah, even on this whole quest that like Barry has been through here in the Button, having hunted down these stolen memories, there's still more that he doesn't know. I really like that idea. I think that's just really cool. And so Jay disappears again, and Bruce and Barry are left here in the Batcave. They go to visit the Wayne graves because, of course, they do.
You need to yeah. It's just such a good let the artist cook.
Mm-hmm.
And it's our reporter cooking, so it's great.
Of course, yeah. We end on two really great scenes. Bruce reflecting on the words that Thomas left him with: the "Don't be Batman, find happiness. You don't have to do this for me. Don't do it for your mother. Let the Batman die with me." Again, just larger themes that King is playing on in his run, which is really great. And then finally, Jacob, you want to tell us about the last scene here in the Button?
Oh, look, it's Dr. Manhattan. Yay. Yay.
Hey, it is a mysterious blue hand, Jacob.
It could be
a mysterious blue hand with dialogue in a pale blue white border.
It could be. Kian's right. It could be Captain Atom.
Could be Captain Atom. It could be. I can't think of anyone else who is blue.
It's DC. Captain Atom, man. This is a new Blue Lantern we're teasing, Jacob.
Yes.
They're your favorite lanterns anyway.
And then you get the epilogue, which is literally by Doomsday Clock.
Literally, all the epilogue is here are the names, and that is
by
the
Doomsday
end.
Clock. Superman is going to fight Dr. Manhattan eventually.
Yep.
Even
and yeah, and nobody will be mad about that. All right.
No one ever got angry about that.
No, never.
Especially not the creator of Watchmen.
No, not the slightest.
No.
He would never. He would never. He has no magical means by which to stop us from enjoying it.
He is a wizard. We need to remember that. He is actually a wizard.
He is a wizard.
Literally.
He's literally an old British man who lives in a cave, I'm pretty sure.
Oh man, I have my throat is fucking dead already. We have
Can we take like a 2-minute break so I can use the restroom?
Nah, you. Let's keep going.
Go, I can ramble about the Swamp Thing.
Yeah, actually, yeah, Jacob, don't worry. We'll start talking about the Swamp Thing issue.
No, don't.
And we're back. All right, this is Batman number 23. Swamp Thing things. Hey, speaking of Alan Moore, Swamp Thing things.
Yeah. Hey, Joey.
Yeah, you
kind of blindsided me with this one. Like,
I just told you to read some Batman. That's all.
I didn't expect to open with Tom King having Alan Moore being shot in the face. I mean, it's not Alan Moore, technically.
It certainly is meant to look like him, though. Come on.
Meant to look, and the dialogue is meant to read like Alan Moore.
I mean, you are meant to read that in Alan Moore's voice.
Yeah.
Especially the word mates.
But yeah, this is The Brave and the Mold, which is also really funny because it's by Tom King and Mitch Gerrits, who kicked off Batman The Brave and the Bold with the winning card.
Did you get it? There are some DC comics called Brave and the Bold.
Yeah, but you see, we're talking about Swamp Thing, who's a nature guy, so it's called The Brave and the Mold.
Moldy.
I also have to ask, the cover on this one.
Pretty great, isn't it?
Pretty great, but why is it formatted like that? Was it like...
I forget. I'll have to pull up my single issue afterwards and see.
Because it's
just Batman being like killed.
Yeah, but there are these black bars at the top and the bottom.
Yeah, I'll have to check why it's like that.
I can't see black bar. Well, there's like a big black bar that like covers where the Batman logo is.
Unless
I've got the single issue.
Unless there is, unless they just include that because it's the fuller version of the art.
Maybe. Oh, I'm looking up. I actually just did a quick Google of this single issue. Apparently, when formatting this, they just formatted with a giant black bar on top where the Batman logo went.
Cool.
I mean, that it works.
Sure.
But it's the weirdness of publishing, of liking to of in trades, not including the logos on the art. Which, like, I get it. You want the clean art because cover art is usually 9 times out of 10 gorgeous, but it helps understand why it's formatted like this. Anyway, so Swamp Things. I kind of want a Tom King Swamp Thing run.
Would be cool
after this, like, or maybe a mini. I don't know if I want a full run.
It would be a mini, yeah, definitely.
Give him 6 issues.
Yeah, 6.
Give him 6 issues, and he can only stick to 6 issues.
Let him do like like he did with the Supergirl mini that he's been.
I mean, here's the thing. Like the reason that Tom King has done so many minis is because he has that exclusive contract with DC, and he doesn't want to do ongoings because he'd rather just spend his time writing different characters. So I don't mind all the minis.
He'd rather spend his time writing different characters, but somehow write the same story a lot of the time.
I disagree.
I mean, there is a theme in a lot of his books. He's very much a fan of the whole romance saves the day sort of thing. Saves the main character. Lost. His Mr. Miracle does it.
Yeah.
His Vision does it. His Batman does it.
His Wonder Woman hasn't done it yet.
Yeah.
Hasn't done it yet.
I am not... And I feel like, depending on the way he pulled the same conclusion to at least the first big arc that we're doing, that could get complicated and weird, because he's doing some interesting romance things that I hope are intentional.
I was gonna say, as long as it's the romance that I hope he's going for, I desperately hope he actually just ends up doing it again, because I'll take it.
It's a more interesting romance than certain people like to pair Wonder Woman with.
Yeah. Anyway, so we're investigating a murder. We're investigating the death of looks like Alan Moore guy.
His name is Lloyd Bernard McGinn. Lloyd Bernard McGinn, not Brennard. What the fuck? I can read.
You can't read.
My Goodreads says otherwise.
Lies.
It's Bernard, not Bernard.
I said Bernard.
I know, but for anyone who's wrong. For the rest of your hive mind.
The Yanks that you know aren't a hive mind.
I think pretend they are.
God, look, imagining a hive mind between me, Joey, and Brian is terrifying.
I would love that.
I wouldn't get a word in edgewise. It would be...
Anyway, so something arrives to help investigate the murder.
Just appears, and I feel through half of this, I'm Gordon. Like, hey,
sure.
Guess we doing Swamp Thing now.
Guess we're doing Swamp Thing now.
We Batman invites Swamp Thing over to talk over this investigation at Wayne Manor.
Stating that this dead guy is his father.
Yes,
which immediately compromises Bruce.
It immediately compromises Bruce. Also, just I don't know, the pairing of Bruce and Swamp Thing.
It's an interesting pairing.
It's weird, but like really weird.
It's good, yeah. It's really good.
Like,
I mean, you can almost imagine like the story someone's waiting to write of just a younger Bruce runs into Swamp Thing and learns from him.
I kind of like this though on its own. I think it's a cool little.
I know, but I mean, there's like another story that I want to see someone write.
I getcha. Maybe Tom King.
I prefer not to speak.
Anyway, as we then also got a Kite Man appearance, because hell yeah, absolutely. Because Batman believes that Kite Man would know potentially something about this murder. Something is there to catch Kite Man as he's falling out of the sky. But Kite Man does give Bats the information. Yawning already, son of a bitch. Anyway, he gives Batman information to continue hunting down this murderer. And we do find the guy who Swamp Thing is very anxious to get to. Let's say, I do also like actually on this. Actually, I do like the chapter title cards, which do also kind of look like the winning card silent film cards that they did throughout that.
Well, these are more film strips, whereas those were silent film intertitles.
Yeah. Still cool.
Why do you need?
What?
Why do you need a car?
Why do you need a car? That is the question. To which Batman,
I don't know. Why do you need a body?
To which something actually kind of chuckles, which I like. It's funny.
The banner works.
Because let's be honest, this issue is kind of musing over familial relations in such a weird way, because we find we eventually now find the guy who did it, and at an art museum, discussing we have this this tangent discussing this painting, which is, I'm trying to remember if this is a real painting, because it's certainly a real artistic movement that King and how do you say the artist's name? Is it Garrett's?
Garrett's, yeah, Garrett's.
I always want to say Mitch Gerrits for some reason.
I don't know. Yeah, I always say Garrett's at least.
like it's an actual movement, and it's a movement usually tied to emotion in these very quick strokes, this sort of moody lighting. A lot of times talking about death, it's kind of a very romantic movement. And then the Swamp Thing just quite brutally kills the guy.
Yeah, Garrett's fucking
Yeah.
crushes this moment where he kills the guy, and something has this
Brings
really
him
like,
back to the green
It's
is very much the
beautiful.
implication.
yeah. Bruce gets pissed at Swamp Thing for killing this guy, and there's this actually just really emotional confrontation between them. You know, Swamp Thing did this for reasons of killing my dad and all that. And Bruce is mad at him for the act of murder.
Yeah.
This also doesn't like you get this real sense. Bruce has no idea how to react. Like a plant
Again, like
elemental just killed a man. Like
Yeah.
that
again,
is
it's like the perfect thing of given what happened in the last arc of the crossover, like Bruce is incredibly compromised when it comes to fathers, even more than usual.
Yeah.
And like obviously Swamp Thing doesn't know that, but like you don't think I know that. It's
Mhm.
literally what he says.
Yeah. Oh God. Good shit. And so Swamp Thing disappears, as you do, with Bruce yelling at him, calling him a coward as he leaves, as he leaves.
it literally leaves.
He
Um,
makes
And
like
yet
a tree.
it's God damn it. I also think this issue is a very interesting statement because despite like there's a lot of Batman villains that go kind of sci-fi fantasy. Uh, some that we'll briefly see in the next in this episode.
Mhm.
Um, I think King really wants to ground his Batman run even closer to reality than Snyder did before him, like as a reaction to Snyder, because Snyder was staying realistic but playing with myth.
Yeah, I
Uh,
think Snyder's run isn't quite as grounded as people like to make it out to be.
yeah,
Yeah,
like
like
Snyder.
I mean, the Joker is immortal in his run. Well,
Yeah,
implied
like
to be.
it is an immortal mythic figure. Um, whereas I feel like King, I don't want to say is more realistic, but has a more realistic grounding, if that makes sense.
mhm.
And when having Batman interface with a literal plant elemental, that Swamp Thing kind of is, because Swamp Thing is not human.
Mhm.
Like, is human, but isn't human. Swamp Thing
He's
is
in a
fucking
weird place.
complicated because Swamp Thing post the 80s owes everything to Alan Moore and the several writers that came after Alan Moore, um, for good reason. And it's Bruce does not know how to interact with Swamp Thing. Like
Yeah.
that's kind of why this issue hits so much, because there's this Bruce is trying to be confident throughout the entire thing and he cannot get a grasp on reality.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, totally.
Mm.
uh
Which, in grounding ourselves, then I think really leads nicely in a bizarre sort of roundabout way
it's
into
so
Batman number
weird.
24.
I
Into
don't
Batman
know
number
how this
24, like
works.
it's oh god. Okay, so let's talk about Batman 24, the issue that broke the internet.
Mm.
Like I
Broke
yeah
me. It broke me. I was tweeting like a fanboy at the end of this thing.
yeah.
Um
So you really thought that this issue was coming like at the very end?
yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Um
Oh, this.
I I thought I didn't okay, I didn't realize that the War of Jokes and Riddles was a flashback.
Okay.
So th- that's like if I knew it was a flashback, then maybe I would have predicted it this issue happening here. Um
Mhm.
so yeah.
Anyway, so this is every epilogue is a prelude, drawn by David Finch.
Which I think this is the last Finch does for the
Issue for
You
this
might
collection.
be right.
Yeah.
for this volume. Yeah, because Mikkel Hannon does most of War of Jokes and Riddles.
Mm-hmm. So let's talk about Gotham Girl. I think first of all, we get a great opening page with Catwoman, but mostly it's this conversation between Bruce and Gotham Girl. Because now Claire is better for the most part. She still shouldn't use her powers. And should she use them eventually, they will definitely kill her. So this is her saying goodbye in a way. This is realistically the issue that sort of closes out, I think, every arc that King had going before this. The stuff that he wrote by himself, at least, not including either Monster Men or the Button.
It's the reason every epilogue is a prelude.
Yeah, exactly.
This is quite literally where we are going to be shifting focus, and
we get an issue of two halves. Like, the Claire stuff is great, and it's just that important detail of everyone makes the joke that Bruce just goes out of his way to find orphans to get them in his like weird little army. No, they find him.
Yeah, and this one's so different, so interesting because this is an orphan that Bruce is kind of responsible for fucking up. Like,
yeah,
like it's fascinating because it isn't, because with the Robins that everybody like with the Robins specifically. Well, the male Robins, I'm not sure about Steph because we haven't really read much with Stephanie Brown on the podcast.
I'll be honest. Steph is more just Steph as Robin is Bruce lets her be Robin more as him being petty towards Tim.
Yeah. Like with the Robins, they're all orphans that Bruce wasn't responsible for. Like, especially Dick and Jason. Like, Dick and Jason as the two main orphaned Robins.
Yeah, and so we have Bruce's relationship to Claire here, who he does feel very responsible for, and has this sort of last really important conversation with her, where she talks about the brevity of her time with the Bat family and her time with her powers and living in general, and it sort of seems to put everything in perspective for Bruce, as we see him thinking heavily back on his time with Selina through all this. King does a really great job of setting up where this issue is going without making it an issue where Bruce and Selina talk to each other the entire time. It's Bruce and Claire talking, and that conversation having meaning to Bruce in his life as a whole and his relationship to Selina. Which is why I think it really works. It's not just King shoving in your face like, hey, I'm going to put these characters together. It is how can we make Bruce realize that this is what he needs? I love that. I love that approach to it. I think it really, really works.
I also I love this moment where Claire is like, can I be honest? I thought you'd just tell me what to do. You'd be like, Claire, don't be crazy. This life is crazy. Go home. Live as long as you can. And I like that there's this. I like the interesting page structure of when Bruce repeats those words back. Just the way that it's structured very much conveys where it's like Bruce, like, I don't really have the answer of what you can do.
Yeah. She needs to be her own person, basically. And Bruce needs to be his own person. Bruce needs to actually make a decision. That decision is both incredibly relevant to this conversation and not relevant at all at the same time. Yeah, that's sort of just, again, it's just the point I was making about, like, this conversation being exactly what Bruce needed to hear.
Then when we get into more of the Catwoman stuff,
yeah,
they are great together.
So fucking good. I mean, we covered all the conversation leading up to it, but like where the issue is leading in the end is, of course, the scene. Bruce meets Selina on a rooftop, of course. They share some very scarce dialogue. King does a great job of just knowing when to pull back in a scene like this.
Here's the thing. I'm once again shocked at how Cat and Bat work, if that makes sense. Like, because these are nicknames that King just made up.
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah,
like
and
this, this isn't a thing that other writers
King
have
leads
used for them.
into the Cat stuff a lot,
mm-hmm.
especially like the whole cat motif. He likes to lean into that.
Yeah, and so
not always for the good, but works here.
I do think that like you're right about it. Like the nicknames really working for King specifically. Like yeah, if other writers were trying to like make that work in their own runs, separated from King's run, it might not land the same way. But it's
Like,
King's way of writing dialogue that makes those nicknames work.
Like somehow King, like, it's the same vibe as the way Jeff Loeb writes Bruce and Selena as utterly flirting.
Yeah.
But the words aren't the same.
I do also really like that throughout most of the issues in which King has been writing Batman and Catwoman together, he's had them almost exclusively refer to each other as Bat and Cat, but on the second to last page, right before the proposal happens, they call each other Bruce and Selena. And then Bruce says, I love you, marry me, and everybody's hearts melt, and it's beautiful, and I believe in love again, because these two weird, freaky goth kids found each other.
And you know what? Here's the thing, I'm both ready for like my heart to swell with the romance to continue and then be utterly ripped apart because hot take.
Don't give up hope, Jacob. Don't give up
Here's the thing. I'm a big proponent that superheroes should be allowed to evolve in their relationships. However, I don't think Bruce Wayne should be married.
Well,
interesting.
Like,
I mean,
that isn't to say I don't think we should necessarily have like a committed relationship. Like, it just doesn't have to be a marriage. Like Clark and Lois, no, they are married and happy. And if you tear them apart, DC, I'll probably never forgive you, or at least tear them apart permanently and don't get them back together.
So we know Jacob is never going to write Superman one more day.
No, I'm not, and I'm gonna be honest. I haven't even read any Spider-Man with Mary Jane. Well, he technically read some Spider-Man with Mary Jane in it, but that really doesn't count.
I'll say this, Jacob. If your take is that Bruce shouldn't be married but should still have a committed relationship, you may honestly like the back half of the Tom King run more than I expect.
Well, because like I don't know. I like these characters are like the definition of messes, like in a good way. And I feel like they would make it work, but I don't know. It feels like matrimony feels.
They're both saying in private they can fix the other one.
Yes, and they kind of fix the other one, but I also don't think that fixes matrimony.
No. I mean, DC are kind of more moving towards your take at the moment. I mean, they are distancing Bruce and Selena again, I feel like.
Well, that's a shame.
I mean, are you reading the current stuff?
I am, but like, I know, like, you can't have Catwoman in every issue, but I feel like they're moving towards them being distanced.
Yeah, are you reading the Absolute Power tie-ins?
I haven't read the Absolute Power tie-in yet.
You may want to check it out.
Am I about to miss something? Right.
You may want to check it out. Is all I'm going to say.
Well, because I haven't read those Absolute Power tie-ins because the only current Batman I'm actually reading is Brave and the Bold.
That's true.
Which is a choice. And probably coming to an end soon. Also, I'm so annoyed. Like,
it's still in the solicits for November.
This episode. Here's the thing.
Soon. Don't worry.
With this okay, so the latest issue, by the time this episode is out, will have actually released, but the latest issue was delayed by a week, and that's
To be fair, most Brave and the Bold is getting is probably like a Urban Legends run, which isn't too bad. That was like what 23 issues.
Yeah, something along those lines. Yeah, I mean it's going on 19 in November, so
yeah, it's gonna hit Urban Legends numbers there or thereabout.
Yeah, probably.
And then
also, what Legends of the Dark Knight even had less. The most recent Legends of the Dark Knight had even less.
I can't even remember when that was.
That was 2 years ago now, I think.
Was it? Are you not?
So.
Is that not Urban? I thought that was Urban. Was there also
no. That was the Legends of the Dark Knight is the one they tried to do partially digital in the way they used to release the Injustice issues, where they would do like the 3 digital chapters and then a physical issue of the whole thing as a full issue.
I don't like when DC do that; it confuses me.
Yeah, it's weird, but anyway,
it really annoying. Maybe not from DC being weird.
All right, boys. Anyway, we have the interesting choice of not having Selena answer immediately.
Yes, because there's something we need to do first, and that is like 7 fucking issues of a totally different story.
Yeah,
eight issues.
8 issues of a totally different story. 2 of these issues being interludes with Kite Man of all people. Like, I want to preface this with how fucking weird of a pitch this thing is. Like,
hell yeah.
Hell yeah, indeed. I mean, keep in mind also how long DC had steered away from a big Joker story after Endgame.
Yeah. And even then, I gotta be honest.
Like 3-4 years.
That's somewhere around there. Yeah.
Like, Endgame was late 2014, I think.
It was. I think it ended very early 2015.
Yeah, this would have been around 2018.
Yeah.
No, this is still 20. Here's the thing. This is all 20. This entire because of the way Banner's publishing.
Sorry, yeah.
This is all 2017.
No, I can see that now. My trade does say copyright 2017.
Yeah, but yeah,
I always forget the bi-monthly.
Yeah,
my weekly.
It's definitely a weird choice. But yeah, so yeah, coming up on 3 years basically, because Endgame ended in fairly early 2015.
So I think if we're talking about how weird the pitch is really just Tom King walked into DC offices and was like, "Hey, I want to do a big Joker story in Batman," and they're like immediately just like, "Yes, just do it." And so
yes, do it. And I here's the thing: they also started to have plans for like someone letting Jeff Johns write 3 Jokers,
which also took a million years to come out, but was actually decent.
That ended up being, I think that ended up kind of being Elseworlds.
Well, yeah. So that was the big problem with it, was that it was originally slated to be canon, and then they're like, "No, let's make a Black Label." And now Chip Zdarsky is doing something totally different with 3 Jokers that isn't related to the Jeff Johns story, but is still playing off of the Darkseid War shit.
See, I have 3 Jokers, and I know that is something else Alan Moore will spit on, given how it ends.
Yeah. See, I don't know. I think 3 Jokers actually
maybe he'll like that ending.
I think here's the thing: 3 Jokers is Jeff Johns actually wanting to say something about Killing Joke, rather than just do Killing Joke homage. So,
it definitely has something to say about Killing Joke, but that's besides the point. Anyway, the Joker, he's killing people because he can't laugh.
He can't laugh. What a setup for a story is the Joker can't fucking laugh.
It's a great setup.
Can I just say I find King's characterization, especially within the context of this being because I knew this was the first big Joker appearance after Endgame. Because again, Snyder did some weird but really interesting things with the Joker, whereas I think King wants to do, in a way, more, if it makes sense, classic Joker, but not lose a deadly edge.
Well, I think the important thing about it is also that like he's not writing current Joker. This is a Joker.
It's partially why
he's not wanting to tarnish what Snyder did with the character. So
it's partially why this is set in the past, and it helps it story a lot. Also helps explain helps explain Bruce's characterization through all of this as an active choice, and also why there isn't a Bat family in this giant arc. Because there's this whole idea of Bruce making a big mistake during the War of Jokes and Riddles.
And it makes sense that he makes the mistake early in his career.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I don't know. I feel like part of me also feels like King came up with the idea of a title of The War of Jokes and Riddles and was like, I need to make something.
I gotta use that.
I don't know why, but I'm
It'll be
gonna use it.
And he did something with it. It's
he did
good.
something mostly really good. Like a lot of my honestly, a lot of my complaints about this arc are kind of just some minor things, like some of them kind of petty, but like the opening of this, I
It's
was
so
already
effective.
like, it was fascinating. I'm like, okay, I'm fascinated with what we're doing because we have the Joker at a comedy club killing a bunch of comedians that he's been auditioning, and just we see the pile of bodies
as the next guy stands up in front of the Joker and the pile of bodies. We then start looking into the Riddler, who is also planning a little bit of something. We also start
trying to use him.
Yep. We are also throughout all this getting some Bruce narration over all this, which is Bruce speaking in the present day, reflecting on the War of Jokes and Riddles.
Very much setting this up as something that is being pieced together from several unreliable narrators, Bruce included.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Yeah, definitely. Because a lot of this, I mean, also like I think the reason we see Joker and Riddler is so deadly in this is because not just because it was definitely a different time for those two characters, but also because that is how Bruce reflects on them, I think.
That and the fact that there's a lot of this where just Bruce isn't there for it. Like, he isn't there.
Well, also in the first issue, he just doesn't. I'm just looking through it now. He doesn't even show up till like right at the end.
Yeah.
Ish.
This is all about
it's very much like I think he's putting pieces on the table. Like the Riddler's gone a little bit mental, got a little bit hardcore, just killing everyone in sight.
Kills a police officer, yeah,
by stabbing him 26 times as part of a punchline to a riddle about specifically about why the end of the world never comes, because it's round, and then stabbing him 26 times to be the alphabet because he's trying to spell something out. Very Golden Age Riddler, Golden and Silver Age Riddler. If the Golden and Silver Age Riddler was deadly,
if he wasn't limited by the comics code,
and in a way wasn't just a Joker clone. Like,
yeah. I mean, I think Tom King does actually kind of acknowledge that in this, which is why the War of Jokes and Riddles work. Is because they are very.
That's why it's Joker versus Riddler.
Yeah, it's like they're similar characters, but like one's a lot more calculated than the other, and one, is the agent of chaos.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's sort of taking. They kind of had the same starting point as characters and have veered completely differently.
Mm-hmm.
Even though they stayed through a lot of the Silver Age, partially because of the Adam West Batman show.
Oh yeah,
stayed very similar. Because
much as I love Frank Gorshin, he is the reason that Jim Carrey played the Riddler like that.
Yeah. Here's the thing.
Here's the thing. Gorshin is also a great Riddler, but like most people only remember the laugh for some reason. Like,
because a lot of the Riddler takes a lot of in the 60s Batman show does take his cues from the Joker.
Mm-hmm.
They're both just fun little silly guys.
That's all.
One of them likes to surf.
Anyway, but yeah, we then also start following the police investigating these killings. The Joker is trying out different jokes himself as he murders people. I do like the woman walks into a bullet. He's like, no, that's not right, as he's already killed her.
A man walks into a bullet. Ouch.
Let's see. We get some more. We get Riddler.
We get this utterly terrifying scene of the Riddler telling the GCPD agents the names of their wives and girlfriends and
children
and just getting them
and just walking out of prison because they're not going to touch him. Amazing moment.
I think a lot of them are daughters.
Yeah, it's daughters. It's daughters. Yeah. I was wrong about girlfriends. But anyway, and then the Joker crashes a car into a fountain after killing a cab driver because
laughed at the joke.
Laugh. Yeah.
A man goes into a toy store and says he would like to buy a new boomerang, and also he would like to know how to throw away his old one.
And then he kills
which is not funny.
What do you mean? It's peak comedy.
It's no, it's not.
Then
I think the Joker dictates what comedy is in Gotham.
True.
Yeah, but he can't laugh. Therefore, it probably is funny.
But anyway, so Riddler goes to see Joker then, and this great, massive 4-page spread that is unfortunately split between 2 different sets of pages, with Riddler saying "knock knock" and Joker saying "who's there." Just really funny.
At the top of this office building on the 86th floor.
Again, let the artist cook.
Oh, totally. Yeah, it is.
And your artist is Mikkel Hannon.
It is 4 pages with exactly 4 words on it across those 4 pages. And yeah, it's Mikkel Hannon. Like, it's you really can't get any better than that. I mean, come on. He's so good. We do then get this great conversation between Joker and Riddler, which does eventually culminate in them declaring war on one another.
It's this very interesting thing of, it's like, hey, we're basically the same. Let's work together and we kill the bad.
And then Joker shoots the Riddler, and then leaves, and Batman saves the Riddler. And this is the start of our actual war here, and we end the issue on this page, sort of setting up our little framing device here of Bruce telling Selina this story because he needs her to know the worst of him before she responds to his proposal, which I do like the idea. It's a really cool setup.
Also, I'm pretty sure Bruce is naked. No, he's not.
No,
it looks like it though in this issue.
Little bit. Anyway, taking us into
this is still a book that teenagers buy.
I know, which is why later in the arc he's clearly wearing underwear. But yeah. I just feel like the first issue they forget that, and it's
they don't forget. They don't forget that. They know what they're signaling.
They do.
They have Batman likes his cats in all forms.
Yeah. Anyway, Batman number 26, part 2 of the War of Jokes and Riddles. Yeah, we open on once again.
Joker.
Oh, what's up?
Joker goes to a little house hunting.
A little bit.
I actually want to call out the cover of this one because this is such an interesting cover.
There's a reason that is what they chose to be the cover on the trade.
It both works, but is also a misdirect. If that makes so much of this is things that again don't really click into place until you've read the entire thing. Because there were questions I had okay, cool. Mainly for the next issue, it's like, okay, cool. Why are we doing an interlude like this? What? Why? And why are we doing any of this until that last issue, and everything just makes sense. So they're with the joke about prominent Joker artist Dick Sprang and the number 69.
Yep.
Mainly because this is number 69 Dick Sprang Avenue. And the Joker just
haha reference.
Kills
it's funny because it's
kills this couple and their 3 children with, again, we don't see it, but it is chillingly depicted over 2 panels.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We get Batman sort of pondering on this. Also, I do like the way McIlhenny draws this early Bat suit. Really cool. Very different from the Rebirth suit, but it's just nice to see a more traditional Bat suit here. Yeah, it's pretty great. We then get Tom King homaging Batman 89, but with the Riddler doing the "you see what I have to work with here" mirror scene. This doctor fixed up the Riddler after he got shot. And so now he has this permanent sort of scar on his chest, and
then we do one of Tom King's other favorite things to do: a character carves their own symbol onto their chest.
I cannot think of any other time he's done this.
Omega Man, Kyle Rayner,
gotcha.
Carves a Green Lantern into his chest.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Spoiler.
That's the only other time though, right?
I don't know. I just know if you do it twice, I think you're allowed to say they like to do it multiple times.
That's fair. This is also very likely the thing that the Harley Quinn show is riffing on when they have Riddler with the question mark on his forehead.
No, that's riffing on the first Riddler New 52 design. That dumb design.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was going for the Hush movie.
No. The Hush movie came out long after that, I think.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Because the last movie came out in like
2019, I think.
Yeah.
I thought Harley Quinn was 2021.
No. That was in the DC Universe streaming service days. Yeah.
Harley Quinn started the same in 2019.
Oh, yeah.
Right, and now it's on the best streaming service.
Yes,
and it
everyone's favorite.
Because its name is Max.
Shut the fuck up. How many shitty Doctor Who references can Kian make in
I seem to be doing bad episodes at the moment.
Yeah, you are. You really are.
You know what? Here's the thing. It's nice. We can reach our Doctor Who reference quota, and it's not our fault.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, these are part of the tangents quota.
Yeah.
Yes. Several birds with one stone. Anyway.
Investigating more murders. Riddler kills the doctor guy.
Yeah, kills the doctor. And again, an interesting. I feel like this is, again, we're kind of taking Killing Joke imagery. Here, with the Joker not being able to laugh.
And the suit as well is very.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, but also the whole him looking into the mirror and the way that Alan Moore does that in Killing Joke.
Yeah, we want some more Alan Moore references in this episode.
Yeah, totally.
This episode's going to be cursed by Alan Moore.
It's true. But yeah, then we also get Carmine Falcone, which is kind of fun. I like that. Just cool to see. I don't know. It when you do early Batman stories, it's like, oh, okay, cool. That's right. He's there, isn't he?
Mainly, the Joker tells Falcone to you have 1 hour to find and kill the Riddler, and
it gets better, yeah, than what he's going to do in that. Well, let's see what the Riddler's up to first.
Yeah, because we're starting to draw lines, basically.
Yeah, our 2 big villains here are starting to gather allies and also enemies, of course. So we also see Riddler recruiting Poison Ivy for this war on his side.
The Riddler's smart. He's chosen who's probably the most powerful villain in Gotham.
Legit, this woman can uproot the entire city if she wanted to. But hey, whatever. She kills these guys that come after them. These are Falcone's men, importantly. Yeah, she kills them as she talks to Riddler. Batman goes in to try to save them, but to no avail, of course.
We get nice little details on each of them as well.
Yeah, it's like the I love this idea though throughout the story that like that Batman has looked back on
Bruce
this
cares.
war. Bruce has looked back on this war and like the mass amount of death it caused, and it has taken
Each death
heart.
was an actual person, like not always a good person, but a person. Which I'm surprised this doesn't get brought up enough when Twitter likes to do its Batman just beats up mentally ill poor people.
But when is Twitter ever sane?
Yeah, exactly. So I love this bit then when fucking Falcone goes to see Joker, and Joker has on his desk. He goes on his desk. He's like, "So here are your mother's teeth," and it's just like so fucking funny, like legitimately funny. And then Joker kills all of them,
and again,
except for Falcone.
Except for Falcone, the Fat Man is now his assistant.
Yes,
aka the Penguin.
Yep,
and another crucial Bruce doing research due to details. Falcone's mother was 3 hours away.
Oh God, so good! Holy,
he had already killed her.
What a scene!
Oh my God, I like it when we get
so fucking good. And then let's then we start to close out this issue by drawing our lines. We see our lineups on both sides of this war. For Riddler here we have Zaz, Scarecrow, Two-Face, Croc, Clayface, Deathstroke, and Firefly. And for Joker we have what is that? Cluemaster, right? Yeah, Cluemaster. Deadshot, Man-Bat, Mad Hatter, Ventriloquist and Scarface, Grundy, Mr. Freeze, and
Tweedledee and
Tweedledum. That's right. Yeah.
It's kind of.
I mean, they're perfect pairings, really. I mean,
yeah,
I love whose side is taken.
The Joker has gone more psychotic.
Yeah.
Well, it's also if you look at sort of when a lot of these characters got the characterization they're well known for. The Jokers are all Bronze Age onwards.
I mean, Cluemaster's there.
Yeah, Cluemaster's 90s. I want to say.
I said Bronze Age onwards. Bronze Age and the modern age. Well, again, it doesn't.
No, Clayface.
I don't know if this reading really works, Jacob. Because on the Riddler side, you got fucking you got a Clayface. So
Clayface and Zaz.
Clayface is one of
I don't
Batman villains.
Yeah, I don't think.
Fucking. We're gonna be honest.
Jacob, don't try to reach it into where. Don't try to read into it where there's nothing. Come on.
Again, Bruce's Riddler has gone for less sadistic. The Joker has gone for more psychotic.
Sadistic. Well, I also like the distinction, and they point it out in the story later too. But I like that.
And the Joker has his own pet Riddler in Cluemaster.
It's true. But I love that
the Joker and the Riddler weren't similar enough already. Let's introduce Cluemaster.
Yeah. But then also like on both of the sides you have Deadshot and Deathstroke. And I like that Slade Wilson has chosen the more practical of the two, and then there's fucking Deadshot, which is cool. I like that.
I think Deadshot went to the highest bidder.
Yeah, definitely.
I want to say Joker was the highest bidder.
Oh yeah, Joker definitely offered more money, but Deathstroke was like, no, I'm a practical mercenary. I will take the Riddler.
I mean, King also clearly wants to like parallel like each team has like at least one big superimposing strong guy with like Croc and Grundy,
some sort of
each team wants to like
Freeze and Clayface.
I was also going to go with stuff was fucked up by science with Clayface.
Oh yeah,
and Freeze.
Oddly enough, Clayface and Man-Bat, like because they're.
I thought more basically. My Firefly parallel was Man-Bat because they both fly.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah. I mean, I would have maybe done Firefly and Freeze as those are opposites. Those are parallel.
Oh, they're elemental as well. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But anyway, we end the issue then with this fucking haunting page, which I love. Of we talk this issue focusing a lot on Bruce memorizing the names of people that died in this war. It is this full page of names and faces, and Bruce and Selena in the front, like just Bruce being utterly haunted by this, by what happened here. Just really cool stuff. Just a striking image to end the issue on.
That Bruce remembers every name and every face of someone killed in this war, on the date and by whom and how. Because part of the guilt is that you don't quite see is that a lot of this war is also for the Batman, and Bruce refuses to pick Bruce for a lot of it does not pick a side.
Yeah,
he delays himself for too long.
Yeah.
Till we get the issue where he's had enough.
Yeah. Taking us to Batman number 28. 28. Right? 28? Yeah, 28. Or am I wrong? Yeah, 28. No, 27. This is 27. 27. I got there eventually.
I've lost the numbering, I'll be honest.
Yeah. This is our first interlude issue.
It's the Ballad of Kite Man.
Yeah, this is drawn by Clayman, first off, which is really cool.
Fortunately, there's no accompanying song for the Ballad of Kite Man.
No. Thankfully not. But yeah, let's talk about this, because before, up to this point in the run, King had definitely taken Kite Man as a joke character, and he still kind of is, but King wants to give him backstory here, and so he does. So let's he wants
drawing on the Golden Age backstory that exists, or Silver Age backstory that exists, because he was created in the 60s. Also created by Dick Sprang and Bill Finger.
There you
go. So his backstory is he is a man, in the Silver Age he is a man who uses a kite to do evil things, and his name was Charles Brown.
Yes.
For some reason.
Literally, Charlie
Brown.
Peanuts, I'm pretty sure, was a thing at this point.
Definitely.
It's a very simple plan. Make kite, do crime.
Haven't we all thought that at some point, really? But here we expand on that. This is Kite Man is a guy being threatened in the middle of this war of jokes.
And this is one of the few things where I think, because there isn't a whole lot to work with, King wants to try to at least. King is able to do what he wants, but also try to keep as much of the original idea of Kite Man there, while also realizing that this is a joke character. Because we have this whole idea that Kite Man, the Charles Brown before he became Kite Man, was also kind of, an informant, a loser informant that Bruce would terrorize. He was able to find information.
He is the Turk Barrett of Batman, and so here we have Charles taking the matters into his own hands, or at least starting to. We see a bit of his home life, his life with his son. There's some really sad conversations between them, as we also see Charles sort of once again stuck in the middle between Riddler and Joker's war.
He even gets bored at one point.
He literally does. He gets taken to go see Riddler. We see him constantly drinking himself away, getting dragged onto the other side of things by Joker, just being dragged back and forth between the two. And Batman using him to inform on both Joker and Riddler throughout it all. They literally turn Charles into a suicide bomber at one point, and Batman has to rescue him. It's It's really good. It's really, really good. Like I like seeing just like this character like actually have a really tragic backstory, but again, still carry this like I'm trying to find the right word for it. This very like characterful personality about him. And that like he's not like, you know, it's not like, oh yeah, let's take joke character and just make him utterly depressing. It's like, no, like let's see how he would actually be as a person, like still like just expanding on what is already there. What
mind you, it's also very much implied that even this guy's family thinks he's a loser. Like,
yeah,
like
I mean, his wife does. His son kind of thinks he is at times.
And it pushes this man to the brink to become Kite Man.
mm-hmm.
Well, especially after what happens to his son.
Yes,
yeah,
because his son dies. Putting it simply, his son is
poisoned by a kite.
Yeah. Dies in a hospital, his father by his side.
and it's not clear at this point who's responsible.
Mm-hmm.
No. I think I'll say the implication is the Riddler. Given he gets a phone call that says, riddle me this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But
which is why he then goes to the Joker.
Yeah. And so
it's made it's
ambiguous.
Still left a little ambiguous intentionally. That it could have been it's could have been either of them. It's the Riddler. Sort of in the end.
Yeah, but we end this like, you know, seeing him make his giant kite and his costume and going to the Joker and joining his side and
Kite Man.
Hell yeah.
The Joker just already wants to kill him.
It's beautiful.
Taking us into what?
Batman number 28. This is 28 now. Haha.
This is 28.
This one's 28. Yeah, back to the main story though. Who doesn't want to see a Jim Gordon strip show?
Again,
right?
We're paralleling both sides of this war, basically each side holding the power to get Jim Gordon to go to any length to do what he to mainly going to any length to get information and maybe stop this damn thing. Because the police are ineffective because Gordon's it's implied Gordon's only it's only been the commissioner for a little while yet. Like this is early days. And of course it's all narrated by Bruce. But I love sort of it's not really a 2-page spread, it's two 1-pagers, but it kind of makes I'd argue it makes a 2-page spread, at least the way it's presented in the deluxe edition. I don't know if that's how it is in the original issue.
Well, it looks like in the trade.
Yeah, I think that'll probably be how they originally published it.
Because I could also see it working with a page turn either way.
Yeah. Looks cool.
Just let the artist cook.
Yeah, literally. This is just Mikkel Hannon's show, and
again,
we're all here
Tom
to
King
watch
doing very minimal dialogue.
Doing a lot with the minimal dialogue.
Another great joke from the Joker. And the Lord said unto John, come forth and you shall have eternal life. But John came fifth and won a toaster.
See, I don't know why Joker thinks these are bad. These are perfect jokes.
It's great. It's big comedy.
Come on. Also, Kian, I need to know what kind of voice you're going for when you read that Joker.
I don't know.
I think he's going for Heath Ledger.
I was going to say, at first I thought it was Ledger, but that last one kind of gave me pause.
That last one might have ended up being Leto.
I was actually saying it wasn't going into Leto, it was going into Doug Walker.
No.
Which one's Doug Walker?
Oh no.
Wait, did Kian just ask who's Doug Walker?
Oh, I thought you meant as a Joker actor. I was like, which Joker is that?
Oh. Anyway, moving on. We get getting rid of Joker, Batman, or not Joker, Batman, Gordon conversation. As things get more intense, we see Kite Man properly for the first time in the main event, not an interlude, and also Mikkel Hannon drawing fucking purple Catwoman suit. My God,
purple Jim Ballant Catwoman suit.
I am fucking living for it. Oh my God!
Also, we have this is escalated where that the federal government might be being brought in.
Oh yeah, yeah, totally.
We also turns out, Catwoman famously didn't pick a sides, and then lied to Bruce about taking that this was definitely taking a fortune from the Maroney family.
Mm-hmm. I mean, this is also totally evoking Long Halloween right now, isn't it? Like literally, it's the safe scene in the Falcone home at the beginning of Long Halloween, isn't it? Like,
I mean, definitely.
Look at that. That's great.
I mean, it's the King throughout all of this has been
he likes Loeb to run.
He does, as he fucking should. Oh my God.
I mean, Long Halloween and Dark Victory. The Jeff Loeb Batman quartet, if we want to call it that, because I want to include Catwoman when in Rome.
Of course.
Is great.
Yeah.
I hope Last Halloween doesn't. I hope Last Halloween works.
I think it will. I think it will.
I have some reservations.
You're only worried because Tim Sale isn't involved, and I understand.
Yes.
But hey, also, I think it comes. Last Halloween 0 comes out in literally like little over 2 weeks. So
wait, it comes out this month?
Yeah, 0 comes out this month. And issue 1 is October.
I'm not aware of any books that come out. I just like, I'll buy that.
Yeah, here's the thing. We're covering this on one shots because Long Halloween was the first comic I read for the podcast.
I mean, it would be immorally wrong of us to not cover the Last Halloween on the channel. So
that's the problem.
Yeah. Yes. So we're covering it, and we have a busy September and October ahead of us. So
yes.
Yeah, Absolute Power needs to end. I've been enjoying Absolute Power, but it needs to end.
I'm glad it's ending next month.
Yeah,
I'm glad it's only 4 issues because
and that'll also be when Robin Lives ends as well. So
yes,
that'll be nice.
So
anyway, we get Deathstroke versus Deadshot, which is kind of fun.
And now we get me go into full comic book nerd mode where I'm like, this fight should be over a lot quicker.
No. I think it's.
Here's the problem. I think Tom King forgot the gimmicks of the two of them. Deathshot is the greatest marksman. Deathstroke is one of the best hand-to-hands in the DC universe. The minute it goes hand-to-hand, it's over for Deadshot.
But I think they do.
You forget that Deathstroke's characterization properly is he is also pathetic.
True. Maybe he enjoys the thrill, but maybe the thrill is in the chase, never in the capture. But
I don't know. And also keep in mind this is also a prequel story, so these could also be much more inexperienced versions of these characters. So
I know, but it's just the gimmicks. I always think of the gimmicks of the two, and if Deathstroke is Deathstroke at this point, Deadshot should be dead the minute it goes hand to hand.
Yeah, but then it also does start on a
on a marksman thing. That's why.
Yeah, rooftop like gunfight.
This is the thing.
So
he's just trying to mirror them.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's trying to mirror them, which is why I would prefer it. Turn it into 5 days of just the Deadshot boss battle from Arkham City.
Yes, literally.
That's what it should actually be.
No, oh my God.
But the whole idea is that this is
no. Do you mean the Arkham Origins one? Because the Arkham City one is literally just hide under a grate and jump up when you get.
I know, but it almost should be that though. Maybe I do mean the Arkham Origins one. I can't remember what the Arkham Origins one is.
Origins is the one where it's basically a glorified Arkham stealth mission, but also Deadshot. Oh, no, Deadshot can also get you while you're up on the gargoyles because he can aim at the walls and all that.
Yeah, that is probably the better way to do it.
Yeah,
I think I feel like I'd rather it be Deadshot's trying to keep it at range. Deathstroke is trying to keep it close.
Yeah. But the point of the actual scene, though, is just to say.
I get the point of what it is.
Yeah.
This is Bruce's breaking point. This is the moment where he says enough.
This is a fight that goes for days on end, and
I think the second 2-page spread, like the montage spread, is the most effective at really getting the emotions across.
Because it shows all these people that got caught in the crossfire, and Batman just trying to catch up with Deathstroke and Deadshot throughout all this. And yeah, it's Bruce's breaking point. The issue ends with him saying like, he needs to find a way to end this, and so we get into Batman number 29.
We get Batman playing Bruce Wayne.
Yes, which
this
is the best issue of this story in particular.
It's probably going to be one of my favorite single issues of King's Run.
Mm-hmm.
It is such an interesting idea. I don't think describing it is going to do it full justice.
Yeah, because it's a series of conversations, and it essentially Bruce Wayne specifically has invited all of these villains on both sides to have dinner with him together, to be served this multi-course meal, and to talk to each other over dinner. And so Bruce Wayne sits between the Joker and the Riddler, Alfred at his side, and Joker's army behind him, Riddler's army behind him, and we get our different courses as we talk and talk and talk. And
it's specifically a 9-course dinner based on something that Martha Wayne.
Again, the mother is the key.
It's true.
When all is lost, have dinner. I would object. What was special about dinner? Every night was dinner. Not just any dinner, she'd say. Traditional French, 9 courses. Not eating the art of eating. This is very upper class, but it's also very interesting because there's also kind of an artistry to all these villains.
Isn't this the plot of the menu?
Yeah, this is kind of the plot of the menu before the menu.
yeah, honestly. Right down to the murder. It's cool. It's really, really cool. I love the setup for this.
Also, just looking at the food, like what has Bruce chosen?
Yeah.
There's like some tactical choices.
Yeah, it's in a lot of ways. It feels like a lot of the food itself is trying to make the Riddler feel really comfortable. Because the Riddler as a character is intelligent, but is also wants to be intelligent, like wants to be cultured. So he's very much getting the idea of this fancy French 9-course meal.
It's to lull him into a false sense of security.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I do also love this bit during, I think it's the 4th course, or yeah.
What is the 4th course? Hang on.
I want to say it's the 4th course. I could be wrong. I think
is it not the 3rd course where they start going on about Batman being problematic?
Yeah, no, I think that's the 4th course.
No, it's the 3rd, isn't it? The 2 double spread.
Yeah, it's the 4th.
Oh, right. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong bit.
Yeah. 4th course. Yeah. They like Bruce brokers a conversation about Batman and how he factors into all of it. Watching Bruce just like kind of like sit between all of this, trying to actually get these guys to talk, gets so frustrating for him eventually that he just starts fucking yelling at them during the 6th course, or sorry, 5th course.
Play the foolish billionaire, and even that can't last.
Yeah. But like he literally like turns their attention to Batman. He says, "Don't you fool see he's playing you? Can't you hear the bat laughing at you? Do you know he's one step ahead of you?" Literally trying to paint a target on Batman's back so Joker and Riddler stop murdering civilians. So good.
Just actually being one step ahead of them, not really knowing it. Like,
yeah.
It's hard to tell whether Bruce is being cocky there, but he probably isn't because that isn't in Batman's character.
Yeah. Oh God, beautiful stuff. I do also love those full pages during the sixth and seventh choruses where Riddler gives this whole fucking monologue about why he should be the one to kill Batman, and then Joker
the
just like
Riddler.
having about like 6 fucking little sentences, not even. He goes one reason. Why should I kill Batman? Isn't it obvious? I'm the Joker. He's the Riddler. And in the end, who cares about the Riddler?
Meanwhile, the Riddler's trying to be amateur psychologist.
Yeah. So good.
Well, it's because the Riddler's kind of a poser trying to be intelligent throughout all this meal, while the Joker is just the Joker.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the Riddler, you can tell, like this version of the Riddler does logic puzzles for fun because he wants. You can almost imagine him sitting in his lair doing a Sudoku in front of everyone, just because he doesn't feel that smart that day.
Yeah. And as our villains leave Wayne Manor for the evening, we learn that also that the reason that they agreed to sit down to this is that they were allowed to keep hostages in case this was a trap set for the two of them. And yeah, we close out with our ninth course, which is
the Riddler.
literally
The Riddler kept his word.
He did. And what, Joker killed all of his, right? Yeah.
Yeah, the Joker.
Maybe he didn't. He'll have to check when he gets back.
Well, he doesn't know which hostages he's killed.
Mm-hmm. And so this is the thing that actually, like, going forward in the story, like, puts Bruce on Riddler's side in this. Like, he actually fights. If he was to align himself with one or the other, like, it's Riddler for the rest of the story.
The Riddler shows at least some semblance of principles.
Yeah.
And even then, it's also like he's also not on the Riddler's side, if that makes sense, because it's why the Kite Man interludes are here and are important. Weirdly, it's a whole weird thing. Again, this is sort of
he's Mac and It's Always Sunny. He's playing both sides. That way he'll
always comes out top.
Except unironically because he's Batman.
Because he's Batman.
Also, this is the issue where like my thoughts started to really turn on the story, and I kind of really started to get into it. Like, say I wasn't enjoying it. I was just a little like I couldn't quite grasp what King was going for.
Like I said, it is one of those stories that gets better in retrospect when you go back to it. But
yes,
yeah. Anyway, Batman number 30. Let's get our second. Man. Yeah, our second interlude here with the Ballad of Kite Man Part 2. Let's watch Kite Man try to make a name for himself out here, huh?
Yeah, all while we actually see like Kite Man make a name for himself while Batman chooses a side. Like,
yeah,
it's fascinating that we have the Batman choosing a side
and
in an issue.
Like, it's
in the issue where we're focused not on Bruce but on Kite Man. Like,
yep.
No, all we see is Bruce with like a little armband.
Mm-hmm. And essentially, all we're really following for most of this particular issue is watching Kite Man continually fuck up throughout this issue. Like, he's not like working well with any of the other people on Joker's side of things. We see him trying to work with Ventriloquist and Man Bat. And he's just like
he's just not good at it. Issue has this dialogue narration between him and his son. This is where you get the whole idea that Kite Man really is a joke. And Kite Man is kind of a bad dad. Like, he cares about his son, but is kind of not great at showing it. And it makes all the wrong choices. Like, I guess in a way, this is Kite Man's killing joke.
Yeah, honestly. Yeah.
It's his bad day.
Yes.
No, well, not his bad day, just his killing joke.
We saw his bad day already. We get to a Cluemaster and Scarecrow and Mr. Freeze, and again, just continual fuck up after fuck up after fuck up.
Also, I do like the cockiness from Cluemaster.
Mm-hmm.
Just, Batman's not going to kill us. We're with the Joker, so he's not going to kill us.
Yeah.
We'll everything's easy for now. And then, like, he's just getting fear toxined.
Yeah. you eventually do get Kite Man taken in, and and we bring in Riddler to speak to him. Again, always ends on a great note. Because you're a joke, because you're Kite Man. Hell yeah, just funny stuff. But also again, just still following up, I think, greatly on that tragedy that we saw from Kite Man in the previous.
Also, just slightly before, I just really like the detail of Bruce just almost begging him to stop, just surrender.
Yeah. Ugh.
Like, you can tell he doesn't want to hurt Kite Man.
Yeah, he can tell, like, that in a way, in his own weird way, Kite Man is kind of an innocent throughout this. Just really interesting stuff. I like it.
Yeah, and I mean, this is also the one where it's like, hey, they're interested because Kite Man's the one who knows where the Joker is, where to find the Joker, and where we can actually end this whole thing because he's a joke. That's it makes a lot of sense. It justifies these interludes, like their place in the story. Because again, just the question: why this? Why? This doesn't make sense. Because then the last two issues the last two issues of the arc, and the last two regular issues of the episode. Because there's the annual, and the annual we'll cover the annual. But like the annual is just kind of a nice little extra, in my mind, a nice little extra bit of Batman that doesn't exactly tie into the whole this episode as a whole.
This is really these two issues are the end of our proper discussion on King's Batman today.
It's the coffee part of the meal.
Yeah. But yeah, no, this is Batman 31. Opening on Joker once again.
Another great joke to open on.
Which one is this?
This is a year from now. You'll remember. Which is like, is the Joker just fucking with this guy? Is he actually being insecure that he'll be forgotten? It's like, no, he's just telling a joke of a second for this moment. Will you remember me?
Will you remember me? And then after this whole conversation, he's like, knock knock. He goes, who's there? He's like, who's? But I thought you said you'd remember me, which is just again really great joke. What is he so mad about? These are great fucking jokes. Come on. Anyway, then we have Batman and Riddler scheming to try to take down Joker. We get some Catwoman working on their side. As she
specifically working on Bruce's side.
Yes.
Also, this is the office building where it all began. That's kind of important because this whole thing is cyclical.
Yeah.
But yeah, I also love that you have a man inside. No, not a man, and not inside.
Funny, I like it. Joker does shoot Catwoman then out of the fucking building.
And then I love this when we get this moment of going like back into the present where Bruce apologizes for I put you in that position. How many times have I told you? Never apologize for a position you put me in.
Again, they're just as crazy as each other.
So good.
Why do you think I like this couple so much? They match each other's freak in the best ways.
These freaky little goth kids. I love them.
And I have a feeling like Selina could have some fascinating, like, actually great interactions with the rest of the Bat family.
Mm-hmm.
When not written by Bruce Timm, apparently. Hi, New Batman Adventures.
Hey. Just because she tried to fuck Nightwing a couple times, and so did Harley Quinn try to fuck Nightwing a couple times, and apparently everyone wants to fuck Nightwing, which I'm sure.
Yeah.
I get it. But
haven't we all?
Also no.
Anyway, but yeah, we get Catwoman going back to Batman and Riddler. I'm yawning again. Fuck. We got this. We're almost at the end. Kite Man and Croc getting the Team Riddler. Kite Man gets Team Riddler kites to go get the jump on Joker, leading to this fantastic 2-page spread of everyone with these fucking kites on. So
except
funny.
Firefly, who can already fly.
Firefly doesn't need one.
Wait, is Croc here twice?
No, that's Clayface.
Oh, is that Clayface?
Yeah, it's Clayface.
Yeah. Oh shit, you're right. Okay. All right. Anyway, that was weird. Anyway, yeah. they all fly into this building where Joker is hiding.
Joker's finished dealing with business.
Yep. And yeah, let's kick the shit out of the Joker and let Riddler and Joker have their little one-on-one. Yeah, exactly. It's that. What is with the Arkham Origins references? It's literally the end of Arkham Origins with just letting you pound the shit out of the Joker for literally as long as you want. But yeah, we surround Joker. Joker has. Trying to remember this. It's been a little bit since I read this. Oh yeah, he has this thing to eject all of Team Riddler out of the
Well,
window.
this is
sorry. He uses Kite Man. Sorry, Kite Man. He uses Kite Man. Kite Man is able to eject them all for the Joker.
The Inside Man.
That's right. Leaving the only people inside being Joker, Riddler, Batman, and Kite Man. And Riddler punches out Kite Man because Kite Man's all proud of himself.
One punch.
Because it turns out this wasn't Joker. This was This was part of Bruce's plan.
Mm-hmm.
Bruce's plan to get Kite Man to take the war away, like so we can finish this. Kite Man
is the key. He's like Jar Jar. He's the key.
He is literally. But yeah, bringing us into Batman number 32, the end of the War of Jokes and Riddles. First off, gorgeous cover. I love this one so much. And also just an amazing first page, just dialogueless Bruce reflecting on his actions. And then
breaking down.
Yeah, and then this 2-page spread once again of all the people that died during this war.
Again, just the lack of dialogue is perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like there's no dialogue for the first 5 pages of this issue, and like it really works. It's just McKellen.
And then when the dialogue comes back, it becomes sound effects, like
sound effects into one words.
Yeah,
and then into multiple words, and then into actual dialogue.
Yeah, which goes into this like fist fight.
First you get Riddler asking for mercy, which is thankfully in Batman's vocabulary.
Mm-hmm. This great. I'm getting this weird notification here. Sorry, distracted by Discord things. Anyway, yeah, we get this great confrontation then between Joker and Riddler, where Riddler is horrified by the fact that he let Kite Man beat him. That
he's been humiliated, and the Joker isn't even laughing because the Joker should be laughing.
Yeah, Riddler's mad because Kite Man beating them all is the greatest joke of all, and the
Riddler's off on his like big Reddit rant. The Joker occasionally like chimes in, and just Batman takes a moment to reflect.
You know that
he has had enough.
You know that fucking the meme of from the new Godzilla and Kong movie where it's the monkey yelling in the guy's face and then he just punches him. That's literally
basically what Batman goes to do.
It's literally Riddler, and in his ranting and raving and screaming, Batman literally goes to stab the Riddler in the fucking face,
and is stopped by the Joker.
So this is it. This is Batman. This is Batman's big horrible mistake that he made.
The Joker starts laughing.
Yes, but I want to talk about this moment because it is Batman just straight up going to kill the Riddler. Like that is what he wants to do in that moment.
It's the Riddler that he's going to kill, and not the Joker.
Yeah. And the Joker's the one that stops it, first off, by putting out his hand and letting the knife go through Joker's head, and that's what makes Joker laugh finally. But that's it. Like Bruce's big line when we go back into him and Selina, like in the present day, is like, what separates me from them? And I think for a lot of us, like it could be pretty easy to like take that moment and be like, okay, that's it. That's all that happened. You almost killed somebody. Like it's. But for Bruce, that is a massive thing. That is a moment of weakness.
It's also not just that; it's that that what separates them is literally the Joker's hand on the blade of a knife.
Yeah,
I also think that is crucial, though. Like, Selina has probably done worse. Like, but to Bruce, like his code, his rules his everything. This is like a moment where he feels like he can't recover from. He isn't deserving of love. He broke his rules.
Yeah. And so that is why he tells this story to Selena, because of that key difference between them. It's not necessarily her forgiving him for almost killing Riddler, because Selena Kyle could do that pretty easily. I'm sure she's tried to kill Edward Enigma many a time in the past.
There's probably a version of her that has.
Yeah, but the point is rather that Bruce lives by this code and Selena doesn't. And it is her accepting him and having a life together despite that.
And there's also this whole idea of what's also perplexing Bruce is that, he asks the Joker why he saved him. It's like, well, if you when you'll understand when you know the difference between a joke and a riddle.
Mm-hmm.
And Selena's the one who gives it to him. The answer is, who cares? Both a question and a statement.
Yes.
Of quite literally, who cares? And it doesn't matter. There really isn't a difference.
Yeah. And so she tells Bruce to ask her again, will you marry me? And she says yes. And that is the end of that, which is so fucking good. Oh my god. Beautiful.
Also, just
beautiful
the way
show.
Catwoman is drawn for those last few panels.
Oh my god.
Mikkel Hannon.
Mikkel fucking Hannon. The king. Oh my god.
Let him
and
cook.
again, I love that Selena's like, Bruce, say it again, but this time, you poor boy, don't demand, just ask me.
Yeah.
Like, that's integral.
Yeah.
There's a good chance this might be my favorite arc so far. Honestly, just
again, this is required Batman reading, in my opinion.
Interesting.
It'll be so interesting to see if I don't like what comes next. If not, and by what comes next, I mean next arc, not the annual. I actually like the annual. Like, I think it's good. Not quite as good as everything that this does, but like it's a solid annual.
No, but the annual is just there to be a bit funny at times.
The annual. It's a Christmas special, letting a bunch of artists tell some nice little Christmas vignettes in Gotham. Like,
yeah. It's okay. Here's the annual. It's a story called Good Boy, which I really like. It's a story of Ace the Bat Hound. The Tom King's version of Ace the Bat Hound.
He's the best boy.
He is the best boy. And it's David Finch on pencils and art and all of that. And Alfred adopting this vicious dog and training it to be a dog for Bruce. And Christmas comes around and Bruce is like, "Oh, you didn't get me anything," and Alfred's like, he just fucking walks away. Like, world's greatest.
I mean, no, that's not even the best bit. The best bit is, I was expecting breakfast.
Yeah,
this is not breakfast.
So fucking good. Honestly, Good Boy probably is my favorite story from the annual. I do really like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a nice little Scott Snyder story.
Yeah, which is I forget. It sets up something, but I forget what it is.
I just like the idea of there is just a zone in Gotham where like it's almost crime free.
Yeah, it's cool. It's really cool. There's a Harley Quinn Paul Dini story
that is genuinely heartwarming.
Yeah, and has Neil Adams art, which is awesome.
Neil Adams art
again. Again, the crucial detail: Batman doesn't think all of his villains are irredeemable.
Yeah,
Harley totally. Is very much in her redemption arc at this point.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Sorry. The last one is the one that leads into something else, but I forget what it is. It's the Steve Orlando story.
Maybe a Detective Comics thing.
Is it the one with the trippy art?
Oh, yeah. The Riley Rossmo.
Yeah, I'm not always massively a fan of that art.
Yeah, Riley Rossmo is good in like very specific environments. Like I remember liking Rossmo's Night of the Monstermen stuff. But I don't like
the stag must be in one of the Batman books.
Oh god.
I don't think it's Detective.
I forget what it goes into, honestly.
There must have been like a Batman mini.
Yeah, it was something. Here, hang on, I'll look it up.
The artist on this, like my favorite work from them is the Mirror Master story in the Flash 80th anniversary, 75th.
Okay,
Let's go 75th.
I've never read.
Like just because it's a trippy story. And
I like Riley Rossmo's art, like overall. Like even like some people like to say, even if the art doesn't fit, they say it's lazy art, which I heavily disagree with.
my other issue is the only other time I've really experienced it was on the recent Tim Drake series.
Oh, I was just gonna bring that up. I fucking hate the art on that book. Oh man,
it does not.
I'd argue the art doesn't fit. That doesn't mean the art in that book is bad. It's
but it's bad for that book. Like it is not what that book should have looked like.
Yeah,
that book is trying to be in the wild detective story.
Oh, here we go. Okay, yeah, this is the story that led into Batman in the Shadow. Okay, gotcha. Anyway, oh sorry, there is one more story. Shit, the Insecurity Diversion. This is a Scott Bryan Wilson story with a Bill
Quizzelli, who kills it on art.
Yeah, always fantastic art from her. But
it's again, the entire annual is these interesting little Christmas vignettes, basically.
Yeah, like it's a nice time, but obviously not the reason anyone's here. So, so there's that. Unfortunately,
no, it's just like it's a fun issue.
Yeah, it's a fun little Christmas anthology. It does what it has to, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, the two big ones are the King story and the Paul Dini Harley story.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think it really does say something that even the Scott Snyder one isn't like one of the best of the anthologies.
You know, again, the Paul Dini one is it just remembers Batman has a heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, but sometimes that's all you need.
Yep. It's sweet. It's good. I like it. But that was that. We did it, and I think we're actually at less time than episode 50. Holy shit!
Yeah,
I
do have a cut to make, but I think we're. I want to say we have like about 15 minutes until we reach episode 50 status. I don't think we won't make 15 minutes in this outro. But
no, then we stall for 15 minutes.
No, we're not stalling for 15 minutes. Jacob and Kian, I guess, whoever wants to jump in. Overall thoughts on these arcs and this section of Tom King's run?
Here's the interesting thing. I think it's more consistent than the last time. But I also don't think it quite. I'm not sure if it hits as many. It hits some very high highs, but I don't know if it hits quite as many high highs. I think it's about on the same level as the first volume.
Interesting.
I currently have them ranking sort of in my head, like neck and neck, right next to each other in publishing order.
I think overall, I prefer this set of stories to our first set that we did,
which is fair, but it's also hard for me to separate, especially the non-crossover stories.
Because I mean, nothing else. Like King does a great job of just making them one continuous story. You know, he clearly has a larger arc in mind, and that's what he's working towards. So,
I mean, I will say, I think if I had to compare this to say the Snyder run, I still think the Snyder run currently is edging out the King run in terms of quality.
As it should.
Does that make sense? But also, the Snyder run is a very hard bar to beat, very difficult. And I, of course, have all of the Snyder run as a unit, whereas I only have about a third of Tom King's run.
The Snyder Batman.
About a third.
Again, you got to remember the Snyder Batman run is probably one of the few things DC have allowed to stay in continuity and be referenced a lot.
True. Although they do get a bit finicky about Joker Immortal and Jim Gordon Batman. So
yeah, I mean, DC. I think they want to forget that, but that wasn't the great. They want to forget all the stuff they did. Was it called DCU? I can't even remember what they called it.
After they took away the New 52 label?
Yeah, whatever. The in between Rebirth and
I forget if they had. I forget if they had an actual label.
It had a slightly different title.
Because it was that like 1 year gap between Convergence and Rebirth.
And it was like the depowered Superman, the Jim Gordon Batman.
Yep, that was
the
also...
Flash basically has his TV costume.
Yeah, and also I just remember that that full year, that great 12 months where Scott Lobdell got rid of Starfire from Red Hood and the Outlaws, and it became Red Hood Arsenal, and was legit like such a great fucking book. So whatever.
Starfire is kind of like the bit of that book that doesn't always do well.
Yeah. Well, also, they separated her from that team, and Starfire got her own book by Amanda Connor, and that was really damn good then too. So, but very different from anything Lobdell did in Outlaws. So,
yeah.
Anyway, also had that great Martian Manhunter 12 issues, which I really love. Anyway, entirely beside the point.
If we keep stalling it, we'll hit the record.
It very well might, because we still have some things to do. So closing out our episode, Jacob. I think it's time. Let's talk about what we're covering next time on the podcast.
Yeah. I gonna be honest. I don't have any solid guesses.
I love that you're drawing a blank on this. This is
I'm
cool.
gonna guess you've done Batman. Now you're gonna do Superman. So probably more action comics from the New 52.
See, here's the thing. That would be my guess, but I know that the next episode is covering 2 volumes.
It's covering 2 volumes, and our next block of episodes is 3 episodes. So
3 episodes.
Yeah,
You haven't got that much left for Justice League, I don't think.
Yeah,
we only have 2 volumes left in Justice League.
Then it's the Flash, is it?
It could be.
I don't know why I'm so New 52 brained. I mean, I know the Flash. I feel like you've got 3 volumes left. I could be wrong.
Flash, we've got.
Well, with Flash, you've got it from the Manipul Bucalato stuff. We've got technically 2 volumes. So with Flash, it's like, I think, what is it? It's Manipul's on for 1 more volume. Then the 5th volume is just Bucalato, and then it becomes Rob Vendetti stuff. Yeah. So
maybe
I don't know. Maybe we're.
You've actually just
maybe we're doing like a big block of 3 conclusions of concluding 3 books. That could be the angle you're going for. And we're doing Dark Side War next. Maybe that's what I'm gonna lock in. I don't know.
I don't think I've seen you this lost on an episode guess in a really long time, Jacob. This is really fun. I'm trying to decide how much longer I want to revel in this. It could be 10
It's either that, or we're doing something completely different, and like we're starting Gail Simone's Batman. Those are the 2. Or Gail Simone's Batman.
Yes. Okay, but give me Gail Simone Batman now, please.
That would be.
Is it Grant Morrison's Batman?
Interesting guess.
No, because
all interesting guesses. I love this. This is so much fun.
We've started Morrison's Batman, but I don't think we're continuing it.
No, you can sort of finish it if you finish it around the time of Final Crisis, and then leave the stuff that happens afterwards for a while.
Joey, what are we doing next? Just get out of my misery.
No, okay, but again, I'm loving this. I don't really get this often because you're so good at guessing my schedule at this point, Jacob. I kind of want to enjoy it just a little longer, but unfortunately, I cannot. I will say the next 3 episodes, we're definitely somewhere in that conversation. Like definitively, they were totally there.
Okay.
None of your guesses that you locked in though. So. Much in the way of Fresh Face Comics episodes of old, I've snuck in a fun little transition from this episode into the next. How about we do some Flash?
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. I was right with my first guess. Damn it.
You were right there. Yeah. Yeah. So I've planned something a little fun for our next 3 episodes. We're gonna just shotgun the rest of New 52 Flash, I think.
So we're
gonna finish Manipul Bucalato, and we're gonna do all of Rob Vendetti Vengeance.
Oh, so we're doing a 3 episode. Okay.
Yep. Yeah. So it is the remaining 6 volumes across 3 episodes. For our next 3 episodes of Fresh Face Comics, because we have been severely lacking in Flash episodes on this podcast. I realize that.
Okay. So this is funny. This is kind of funny because
you fucker. There is no way you ordered those ahead of time. There's no.
This is funny because The next 3 episodes takes us to the end of our 3rd year.
What are the odds? I actually did the math on that. I think that works out really nicely. So
and it'll be interesting because we finished our 1st year starting.
Oh shit, that's right. Starting
Flash.
Yeah. Wow. How about that? That's
So
really cool.
That's interesting. That's exciting.
I think so as well. I'm quite excited for it. So
I was I wasn't expecting this, but I'm okay with it. I'm like,
yeah, I'll take it. I'm very excited. I've been rereading it recently, and like it's just good shit. I'm also just excited to be reading more Flash for the podcast because we have been so lacking in Flash.
At least if it's the Flash, I can hijack it with something other than a Doctor Who question.
True. Oh, God damn it! I'm not looking forward to this. Anyway, so let's close out the episode. So Jacob, or actually no, we'll start with Kian. Kian, anything to promote? I don't know if you can promote anything, but if you want to, go ahead.
No, just follow my Twitter. I shout a lot on there.
That's true, you do, and yeah, it's a good time. Follow Kian on Twitter. Jacob, what do we got going on?
As always, I have my blog. Still mainly where I've just recently because I'm doing a lot of other things, and I haven't had nearly as much time to write as I perhaps would like to. I have been reviewing Star Trek. Going through Star Trek for the first time in tandem with Joey's series of videos on it. At this point, we're getting I will have just reviewed the animated series episode Bem.
Bem. Oh, fucking Bem. God damn it.
I'm honestly gonna be honest. I am just kind of waiting for the animated series to end because
hey, you're right there at the finish line. So
because it's been getting difficult to actually say anything about the damn thing.
yeah. But otherwise, check out other things on Blood Donut Studios. There's actually a lot right now. We of course the rest of the Fresh Face Comics pantheon. I think we just did a 5-block episode of Marvel 5-episode block of Marvel episodes. That's what I was trying to say. There are also, of course, Fresh Face one-shots. We cover Superman by Joshua Williamson, Wonder Woman by Tom King, Batman the Brave and the Bold by Various, because anthology. We're also covering the Summer DC event of 2024, Absolute Power, as well as the current Batman miniseries, Death in the Family, Robin Lives, the alternate future in which Jason Todd lived. We're also, as we've definitely talked about in this episode already, later this month, talking about Batman The Last Halloween, the new miniseries by Jeff Loeb, in tribute of Tim Sale, of course. I'm assuming finishing the Long Halloween saga. We also, of course, we're also covering on one-shots The Uncanny X-Men by Gail Simone, with our first Marvel Fresh Face one-shot. So that's exciting. And let's see, other things on Blood Donut Studios. We do R2BD, our Star Wars show that I do with my brother. We just did an episode on the High Republic stuff, which actually went over way better than I thought it would, because, releasing High Republic and Acolyte things right now is a little worrying. So there's that. But no, it went well. And we also do, of course, the Star Trek videos that Jacob already mentioned. Once again, Bem, we're getting towards the end of the animated series, and we're almost talking about the Star Trek movies, which is super exciting. I can't wait for that. It's going to be awesome. Can't wait to release those videos. At least they're all recorded, so check them out. Also, Breaking Brian is a series that exists somewhere in the space-time continuum. It feels really redundant bringing that up at this point, but whatever. I'll keep doing it. Why the hell not? All right, I think that about does it. So, wherever you're listening to us, be sure to leave a rating, comments. Apparently, you can comment on Spotify now. I learned. So if you want to comment on Spotify, you can do that apparently, and I'll apparently get a notification about it. So if that's something you want to do, you can do that, I suppose. So so be sure to leave a rating, subscribe wherever you're listening to us. Subscribe to Blood Donut Studios. I can't speak. That would be really appreciated. So I guess until next time, this has been Joey Morgan,
Jacob Licklider,
Kian the Quark.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.